Hello and welcome to Hint Plays. I am Nightbites and I'll be today's Games Master. Hint Plays is a channel for RPGs and tabletop gaming from Hobby Gamers International. We run games on a 3-week rotation with a rotating cast of players and games masters. We also do occasional specials where we look at new games, play online board games and chat about all things gaming. Tonight I'm running Crimson Skies, which is a homebrew based on Savage Worlds taken from FAS's Crimson Skies universe. And we follow the crew of the Bad Debt in an alternate North America where the states became their own nations and the safest way to travel is via airship, which means there are air pirates. Now our players currently are in the midst of the final air race, which has been somewhat ambushed by a squadron of bad guys. Now, with me today, we have, and if I start from left to right on my screen, we've got Robinson. Who are you and what are you playing?
I'm going first. This is the first time I've gone first.
I like to shake it up.
But are we unmuted?
You
Yeah,
are
that's
indeed.
a good question. Okay. So I'm playing Urbanus Hamilton. Call sign. It is call sign, right? It's not code name. It's call sign in the
Call
thing.
sign.
Call sign. Merlin, and he is the engineer in charge of the systems, or not necessarily the systems, but the equipment that is mostly used by the crew of Bad Debt, which in this case is the planes. He hasn't had much to do in the previous episode, but he has had some moments to shine with the Hakage, which is his prototype seaplane, which was introduced in this. What's it called? I'm forgetting so many words recently.
Scenario?
Scenario, that's the word. Sorry, for the past week I have just been forgetting words randomly.
I can
and
empathise,
I'm
my
actually
friend. Don't worry.
starting to get concerned.
I mean, you can be excused for forgetting scenario. I mean, how often does that ever come up in a role-playing game?
In this kind of a scenario.
Yeah,
I
see,
forgot the word empathy yesterday, and I forgot.
I
was
just can't imagine
really
how you'd feel about that.
I was really trying hard because I was like, is it associate? No, it's not associate. What is the word I'm thinking?
I was trying so hard not to say that, Fish. I really was.
Robinson, at the risk of being somewhat punny, I completely feel for you there because I have similar issues. Shard, you're up next. Who are you? What are you playing?
I'm Shard. I'm playing Mithra, also known as Dr. Uttercup, who in the last game, our last 2 sessions, actually proved how talented a doctor she really is. Because prior to that, she's been managing, diving equipment and flying planes. I don't remember the rest of the question.
That's
think that was
plenty
it.
fine. Fish, you're up next. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, I'm Fish Not Fish, better known as Fishy or very occasionally Gavin, and today I will be playing Chuck, better known as Midas or that Git. Midas is... I gotta get the voice back now. 'Cause I haven't been doing it. I don't remember how I do
Oh,
Midas.
the
'Cause
silly
if I don't play
voices.
Midas right, then it's not going to be Midas, is it, really? So anyway, Midas is a pilot. He's probably the only real pilot we got on this crew of people who supposedly fly planes. I don't know quite what the rest of them are there for.
So we get to
I
demonstrate
suppose.
him after we finish
Right.
killing these airplanes, right?
But, for an air squadron, we got a lot of people whose job seems to be like, doctor or Indian chief or whatever the heck they are. But Midas is a hotshot pilot. He's won all the races. Every single one. No problem. Just stormed through them. At no point were there any crashes involved or accidents or cheating on the part of any... I didn't cheat, so I'd point that out. But almost everybody else did. And I think as we start today, I am on my way to land in a hurry because I need bullets because there are planes coming in to attack, and in order to get more speed out of my plane, I am flying with no ammunition on board and a light fuel load. So I could really do with somebody splashing a bit of aviation fuel into the tank and giving me some bullets before I go into combat. I think that's everything you need to know.
Chuck is in need of peas and gravy.
Indeed.
So, Drat, last but by no means least, who are you and who are you playing?
I just realised I put my most innocent expression on there. I'm not quite sure where that's going. I am Dratacup. I'm playing Masha, codename Madonna, who has an uncertain accent, which started in Ukraine and has migrated since. Who is ostensibly in charge of this bunch of reprobates, but they are not as bad as old bunch of reprobates who she used to fly with, who took against her leadership and decided to try and shoot her down, and therefore she's not in Ukraine anymore. She is a combat pilot with the emphasis on combat over pilot, but she's very nearly as good as Midas. Not that Midas would ever admit it. And I've just backed the Terminator RPG because I was left alone, unattended, in front of Kickstarter.
It does look like it's going to be good.
Yeah, like
Based
my
on the
mouse
Dark
finger.
Horse comics, so it's the first movie in the Dark Horse comics, as I understand it, rather than any of the other movies.
Yep.
So it's
So-
that version of the timeline. For anyone who-
Masha, when last we saw, was dropping her a maquette, which is the only plane with a decent number of guns on, and is heading to have a word with some disruptive chaps who seem to want to cause some problems for the racers.
Speaking of,
She has Dr. Ratacup, Mithra, stashed in the turret, if I recall correctly.
not yet. We didn't get picked up yet.
Okay, heading to pick up Mithra, and then I will stuff her in the turret, and she can be my tail gunner, and it'll be fine.
Listening to Iron Maiden all the way.
I know. It'll be Tell and Charlie.
Just don't get the tail shot off with me in it.
I know that's the wonder of the tail gun in the maquette.
Yes.
You operate it from the cockpit.
You do. You sit in the cockpit. Oh, and there's no smoking in my maquette.
I won't smoke.
No, you
Add that
won't.
I will light up if we are going down.
Only because I'll have set fire to you.
So, Fish, with Chuck making a very rushed and possibly not on an ideal angle of attack landing, let's have a piloting roll, please.
Piloting
Speaking of rolls,
Check.
Oh,
you want to hand out the chips,
Chips.
because
yes,
Chips at
you're
the
gonna
start.
need.
Yes, please, God, give me chips.
because I know Fish has none.
No, actually, I've got one. I earned one for something during the previous session, having blown all of my chips to stay alive beforehand. So now I've got a whole 4 to play
Two
with
for
today.
Dr. Attercap because Dr. Attercap is unlucky. 3.
It's really funny that Dr. Uttercup is unlucky and yet makes some fantastic freaking rolls.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Just rearrange this so that I can see both Twitch chat and also
Right.
Fancy Bears chat. So
I don't know what the problem was. I had loads of bennies. Loads of chips. What I don't have is my dice out.
That's okay. You can use the dice in.
Don't say that.
Okay, somehow I managed to fail to roll my piloting there.
Oh crap.
Try again.
That didn't sound good.
No.
That's better. Oh
No, it
I
sounded
did-
painful.
It did roll piloting
Ow.
before. I see. That's what the problem was. It's just I've got a map over the bit that tells me what the number was. So okay, using the first roll, which is actually the one that I was supposed to be making, that's an 8.
That's an 8. Well, that is a success with a raise.
I'm so not used to having to fit all of this onto one monitor. I want my monitors back. I used to have 3.
I'm sorry. My best option is you can use the TV and a second monitor somewhere.
If there was somewhere to put a second monitor up in here, I would have done so already.
I know. The coffee table's the only place I can suggest, sorry.
Yeah.
So, Chuck drops Nelly onto the ground and stops up very, very quickly, pulling into the apron and calling out for...
Yeah, I mean, I'd already radioed in so they knew what I was coming for, which means that as I pull to a halt and pop open my cockpit, I can be sarcastic or jocular if I wish to. So now I've lost the voice again, though, because I haven't been talking as Midas. Give me a second to get Midas's voice back. That's kind of Midas's voice, isn't it? That's probably close enough. So as he pulls in, cracks open the cockpit. Tea and crumpets over here, please.
The American
what you call
calling for
bullets?
tea and crumpets. That's clearly summoning on the heritage there.
Yes.
That's clearly his father's influence on
Yes,
that
that's the
line.
dominant heritage, yes.
Well, that would be between his mother and father to know that. But...
God. Meanwhile, am I right in thinking that Madonna is cycling back to the Bad Det to pick up Mithra?
Yes.
Mithra's on the ground.
Mithra,
Yeah,
Because-
yes, because I wouldn't have left the Bad Det without Mithra if
right.
she'd been on
In
board.
which case...
Mithra's on the ground, she's been providing medical assistance
Oh, of course, yes.
to the
yes.
crashed flyers.
Yes.
So she is going to be picked up and forcibly thrown into the cockpit.
So
Right,
initially,
so-
you don't need to do any flying, then, do you? The Bad Det just has to be above the the pavement.
Just click the
drop your
release
plane.
button.
Dunk, 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 dunk.
Works for me.
What, suspension
Sadly,
control?
not quite. You'd end up putting the landing carriage through the wings.
Ew, what a winch.
But so let's have a fairly hasty landing roll
Piloting.
from.
Star Wars style elevators that can get us from the Bad Det to the ground in about 3 seconds flat. Elevators that move so fast your feet actually leave the surface if it's going down.
That is...
I hope that's
What's my target number?
Target number is always 4, unless
That's
I
handy.
give you any negative or positive modifiers.
Well, I got the target number on both dice, so...
Okay.
Can't
A little
remember whether it
untidy
has
and
Savage
messy,
Worlds.
but
Sorry.
not bad, and nothing was damaged on landing. Just didn't look as slick as it could have done. But nevertheless, with enough proximity for Mithra to bundle in.
Yep.
Can't remember whether it's how Savage Worlds actually does things, but it makes sense with a game system like this. Simply to apply modifiers to the die result rather than the difficulty number, because that way you always know that it's 4 for success, 8 for a raise, etc., etc.,
Yeah.
etc. If you apply the modifiers, just reverse the modifiers and apply them to the dice instead, it's much easier to read.
Yeah, that is largely how it does it.
Mithra is already running at the at Madonna's plane as Madonna's pulling up.
I can imagine the cockpit opening
Look out for the props!
and oh, that Indiana Jones moment.
Yep. That guy died in every single Indiana Jones movie, occasionally twice.
Yes. Wasn't he a wrestler?
He was, I think he was a wrestler, but he was also a quite well-known character actor in the UK.
Yes. Yeah.
He was in Boys in the Black stuff, possibly.
Might well have been actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so with fuel and bullets and Mithra loaded aboard the respective planes, can I have takeoff rolls for both pilots, please?
Can indeed.
Jeez, now I'm going to roll to take off.
It's a stressful situation.
That's
8.
a 9, so that's including a raise.
Excellent. And likewise for Drut, 8 also is a raise.
A more efficient one would raise. I think of this thing. Madonna is more efficient pilot.
What, just because I wasted a 1 point on the die roll? That's
How
just,
much?
that 1 point just makes it look good, okay?
Yes, and how much fuel do you waste on the looking good?
Well, not a lot, because I don't got much.
That's a point. How are you on the gas these days?
Well, I've just got fuel and bullets, so I've got
Okay.
however much they could afford to shove in. I don't think I've got a particularly protracted engagement window here.
That just means kill things faster.
You've got
Which is
a bigger
problem, because
engagement window than you would have had you tried to
had I not landed,
take them
yeah.
down without bullets. Yes. So
Well, to be fair, he did take a plane down without bullets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, I have done. I've done it at least twice. And I'm probably going to have to do it again because I've only got one poxy little gun on the front of this thing.
So, let's switch across to the battle map. Let's see, share. Yep, that's the one I want.
Pew pew pew.
And oh, didn't quite go.
Oh
like
my.
this. Let's move that
I
across
really
here.
appreciate the sound effects.
There we go.
Pew pew pew. Meow.
Pew.
Pew,
Pew.
pew, pew, pew.
Barley McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble and Grub.
Pew.
I love that the battle map is 2 airplanes against
No.
9.
No. So, on the map, for representative purposes, we have Chuck's aircraft is the red and white one, bottom right.
Mm-hmm.
Going diagonally up to the right from that. Because I don't have a
Assuming
counter
that's the maquette.
for the maquette, yep, you're actually the marker is a Kestrel
Okay.
because it's one of the only twin boom planes that I have markers for.
Oh, okay. It's okay. To be honest, I wouldn't have known if you hadn't told me because I've never actually played Crimson Skies, the video game.
So then going to the left, the flying wing shape, that is one of the British racers.
Ah,
The chap who clipped the stanchions on his way through. So he's flying a damaged plane before the battle starts. And the Bloodhawk is Dale McInnes.
I'm going to make a suggestion. It's not, by no means is it absolutely necessary, but I'm going to make a suggestion that you might want to lock the token sizes, because at the moment, as you zoom in and out on the map, the token sizes change.
Ooh, how does one do that?
So if you just zoom to get them to a level where you like them, and then I think it should be on the radial menu if you right click. Can't remember.
Layers?
I don't have access
Ah.
to it because I'm the
No, it snaps
GM.
grid.
I'm not the GM.
Is this map just a screenshot of Google Earth?
No.
I'm guessing this is one of the maps from the original board game.
No, this is a custom map that someone else made a few years ago.
Cool.
So actually, yes, it probably is a screenshot of Google Earth with a hex grid laid over the top of it, yes. But not done so by me. I can't see... Possibly I'm not...
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if you can't find it. Because, I mean, how often are people actually going to be zooming in and out? I just thought I would mention.
Hopefully not. So... Now, every aircraft has... I'm having to smush together some of the Crimson Skies stats and mechanisms with Savage World here
Yeah.
to try and replicate something akin to the old tabletop game. Because I've lost the word. I like to look backwards like that.
Nostalgic.
That's the word, thank you, nostalgic.
You see, Robinson, not just you.
I'm glad because it's been a really consistent thing for this week, and I was.
It happens. Happens to us all, mate.
happens to me like at least once an hour.
Yeah.
If not all day long.
It's just shit happens, and you know, you do.
Yep.
But if you get stressed about it, it is literally more likely to cause you to brain lock.
Yeah, absolutely. I can speak for that. This is why I tend not to worry about it, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So, Fish, we'll start with you because I'm pretty sure I had everything set up on your... If you look in the vehicle section, you should see a Dawson Dagger named Nelly for you.
Go over this to uncategorized. Dawson Dagger, Nelly.
Excellent.
Hello, Nelly.
Hello, Nelly. I'm sorry. Why are we suddenly off into Wallace and Gromit?
Yeah, why not?
Cracking
Why
to
not
it,
indeed?
Gromit.
And for all pilots, in the images repository list, there should be a move template that you can see.
Sorry, was that in the vehicles?
The images has the move template.
Okay.
Right, if you look in the vehicles, you should
Label
see your
move template. Ooh.
maquette.
Gosh, yes, so there is. That's complicated.
It is rather complicated until you get your head around it. So this is taken straight from the Crimson Skies board game.
Yep, could see that.
Now, did I share that image to... I did. Okay, so folks on stream can now see the complicated madness that is the original board game move template. The way this works, your aircraft is in the centre at the bottom. You have a speed rating from 1 to 5 if you're flying something really, really fast, like Chuck is. You would move the number of hexes equal to your current speed. And you can turn on any direction where there's an arrow. There's a number beneath each arrow that gives the G rating of that manoeuvre. So, for instance, a plane looking to go to the right and still be facing forwards could go at speed 4 to 4R0, which is a 4G manoeuvre. It's basically pulling hard right and then turning left at the end. It's a 4G manoeuvre.
I'm sorry. Where is the G listed?
Right, do you see the arrows on the hexes?
Yeah.
There's a number next to each arrow.
Yeah.
That is the
Gotcha.
G-force.
Right. Okay. Right with you.
At least it's simplified, and you don't have to do complicated math for determining bleeding off airspeed and trying to stay in the sky. Blah blah blah.
No, that's more Space Master Second Edition.
Yeah.
Star
I tried
Strike.
to avoid going to that.
The advanced rules on Star Strike were quite amazing.
They were
No,
lovely.
anyone ever played with them.
We did once. It took
I
us
think,
the
yeah, 'cause
entire
it took-
afternoon to do
yeah.
2 rounds.
It does. It takes you so
Jesus.
long that you go back to the simplified rules pretty quickly.
So with a 4G manoeuvre, I'd ask for a piloting roll, and you would need the basic success and 1 raise to make your 4G. If it was a 5G manoeuvre, you'd need an extra success. So, with that said,
I thought the turning key for Car Wars was good. Oh boy.
The turning key for Car Wars is good.
It is
because
good.
They managed to simplify it down.
They did.
To such a simple tool.
yeah. This is... They got a simpler version for the Clicks game, which was a series of cards. You just pick a card,
Yeah.
you play that manoeuvre card.
That's the
Still
version
got
we've
that
got.
in a box. Yeah, I've still got that.
Yeah.
I think it's in the chest where my board game.
There's a set of the planes in the cupboard under the stairs that isn't.
So, looking at your vehicle sheets, there's a top speed listed, which has the miles per hour speed, and then in brackets there's 2 other numbers,
Yes.
which is your in-game, on-map top speed, and your acceleration, deceleration rate.
Right.
Okay.
So if you're going at 325 miles an hour, that's speed 5. You can't accelerate past that because you're going flat out. You can decelerate by 3, so you can drop from speed 5 to speed 2.
So logically, having just taken off, I'm guessing that I would be at speed 3 because that's my acceleration rating. So that's what I've got to when
Yep,
taxiing
exactly.
and getting off the ground.
And likewise for Druts, the same mechanisms apply, but the numbers I think are slightly different for... I have once again got too many tabs open and I'm losing tabs.
Too many tabs.
So in Drut's case the numbers are 3 and 2, so it's got a top speed of 3, acceleration, deceleration of 2.
Okay.
So just to double check how the acceleration works. So I'm going to be at 3, have to just taken off, but I can get to 5 and be at 5 with ground because I can accelerate.
Yep.
3 seconds.
Exactly.
I just wanted to check that it wasn't doing something complicated like making the maneuver then accelerate.
No, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. Despite that crazy complex looking template sheet. I'm trying to keep things as straightforward as possible.
Please.
But I thought, since we're going to be battle mapping this, ooh, Modier still seeing some laggy, laggy, lag.
Laggy, lag. It's all good.
No, it isn't.
I meant
That's
the use of
thing
the
with
word.
lag. Depends if you're an old lag.
So I'm thinking
Where's the
that
commit for all the lag?
initially,
Good call, Mon.
I
Yeah.
probably just want to go accelerate up to top speed, go straight forward, and at the end of it, turn one hex facing. Because obviously I'm just trying to effectively come up and round to get behind the line that these guys are coming in, and give myself plenty of scope in the process. Now,
Can I just-
move me?
Can I just clarify, Knights,
Yep.
that I'm facing top left?
You are facing. So you, as you look at the map, you are top left.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
assume that's what we're both facing.
Yeah, I just had a moment and I thought I'd
Yeah,
check.
it's a good shout because some of the aircraft in this game, from a top-down view, do look like they're arse backwards.
Yeah.
Specifically, the Bloodhawk actually is one of those.
Now, if I rotate, am I going to rotate by a hex facing?
Should do.
Yes, excellent. So there we go, and that is a apparently no G at all maneuver because it's really simple.
Yeah.
Mainly just flying forward in a gentle turn.
Exactly.
Oh god.
There is no manoeuvring roll required to do that. It's as simple as it gets.
Right, I apologise because I don't know what I'm doing.
That's quite all right.
So, and that's not something I'm familiar with.
The simple way here is just work out where you want to be and the facing that you want to be at. And if you can't figure that out on the key, then
Yeah.
Knight or I should be able to
So-
work it out.
Exactly.
I think I've got
I'm
my
assuming
hands on
I
the key.
can pretty much ignore anything that's above 3
Yeah, I mean,
on
whatever,
the speed.
Correct.
whatever speed you are currently going at,
So you-
that's the
Yeah.
number you want to be looking at.
So
You can't go less than that. Your maneuver has to be at whatever your current speed is, because that's how far you're going to travel.
Yeah,
So you only ever need to look at one number on the key, as I understand it.
yeah. So if I want to move the 3 hexes that I can,
Yep.
and rotate 1 hex to the left, which one am I looking at?
So it sounds like you're
Is it
looking
3L1?
at. If you want to rotate one to the left, you could be looking at 3S,
Yes.
and then
Okay.
just rotate
3S
one left.
with a single hex
So
facing
that-
change in the last hex would be the equivalent of what I did. I
Yeah.
just went straight
Yeah.
forward and then turned at the end.
That would put you in line behind Fish, but one hex further back.
Can you turn
that would.
and then fly?
So you could
Yeah,
turn.
it just gets more complicated.
Yep. You could
So
turn.
3L1 would be a turn and then three,
Yep.
and then a straight 3 hexes. And then if you want to
Right.
turn again at the end of that, then you get into having a higher
Okay.
G maneuver. But
So 3L1 then.
3L1.
3L1
yeah.
is a 1G maneuver, looking at that, if I'm reading it right.
That is a 1G maneuver, and would put you facing the damaged Brit.
Yeah. So
But again, a hex for hex
rotate 1
apart.
to the left
And then move 3.
and then 3.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it
Sorry
looks
for
like
making a slight
no,
deal
no.
of it, but
No,
this
it's,
is
it's all good. This is a distinct departure from the usual
Yeah.
narrative story. But I thought it would be nice to
I-
battle map one
No,
of the
it's
bigger
fine.
fights.
I think the reason I've picked this up as quickly as I have is just that it's nice and crunchy. My brain immediately leaps for crunchy.
Yeah, Fish's brain goes, ooh, crunch!
Crunch, yeah, we'll have that.
I like having things on the table in front of me, and I like having keys and rulers and line of sight indicators. And
I remember the good old days of Warhammer 40k first edition using the turning key there was called a ruler. And literally,
Yes.
you just measured the turning radius. Effectively, it had a turning radius. So what you did is you measured out the appropriate distance from the model, and that became the center of your
Yeah.
turn. And then you turned in an arc around
I
that. and
used to
moved the
go
number
a
of
little
inches.
more complex than that.
Really good.
I had a small length of string in my pocket. I'd measure on the ruler the length of string, put one
Yeah.
end on the table, then just move
And
the
then
string
just-
around.
Yeah, that's absolutely perfect for doing it. Yeah.
I'm a nerd. What can I say?
I
So-
have some of the like really exaggerated accessories for Warhammer 40k with like the explosion dials and stuff for working out weird attacks.
That's all much later stuff.
Yeah.
We just had
There's-
bits of paper in
there's-
the back of the book that you had to cut out for that kind of
There's
stuff.
there's way too much nerdery going on. I'm just gonna have to go, guys. I'm sorry.
I just feel that nobody has ever let me play Warhammer with them.
Probably because you would destroy them.
I will sell you
Entirely
a
possible.
Skaven army if you want it.
Oh god, you've still got that Skaven army you want to get rid of.
I love the
I-
Skaven so
I-
much.
Oh, if I had the money, I would take that off him. I really would. I love Skaven. They're fantastic.
I actually forgot about it until we just started talking about one.
No, the closest I've got is I've got Blood Bowl teams, and that's it.
Hmm.
I'm not
Warhammer-
fielding them in battle.
Warhammer was always just too big for me to get my head around. I much enjoyed playing Mordheim though. Mordheim was small and easy to work with.
I like
One of the
BattleTech.
reasons, one of the reasons I liked
Battletech's fun.
40k in
Yeah.
first edition 40k at least was because it was built around small scale skirmishes, so you didn't need a lot to be able to play. I had when 40k first edition was launched, they launched a box of I think 20, it was either 20 or 30 plastic marines that you
Mhm.
could buy just as one box of marines, and I got one of them with it, and we basically just played marines against marines for
That's
ages,
cool.
just
Yep.
splitting that into 2 or 3 factions depending on how many of us were
The only
playing.
thing I used 40k for was to get the Marines chainsaw blades, cut them off, and give them to my Skavens. They didn't operate, but they were from the future and worked like swords.
I used to take they had like huge great bayonet blades that you
Yeah.
could glue onto the bolt guns on those plastic marines, and I used to take them and just sort of smooth off the back and stick them onto people's armor, onto other models before painting them up. So all these chaos spiky armor guys,
Yes.
great fun.
I ended up putting a lot of the spare guns and blade bits on my Dark Future cars.
Yeah, that was another thing they were good for.
So, from here, I want to try and keep it so that instead of rolling initiative, the slower planes move first, because the faster planes have a
Yeah.
better perception
Yeah,
of,
that makes
of what's
sense.
going on around them and can react more equivalently. So, all 6 of the enemy planes currently are doing speed 3. The poor damaged Brit is only doing speed 2, so unless anyone's slamming the air brakes on, the Brit's going to be going first.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have little hexagons showing pew pew pews for us?
I don't have actually shown the pew pew pews, no. Sadly.
All right.
So, Drut, as a 3, you're at the moment doing the same as
Yep.
the others, or were you going to be breaking what or what? But what is your
No.
current planned maneuver?
Given that I have a choice of 3, 2, or fall out of the sky,
You've got 3, 2, or 1. Speed 1 is a valid speed. The only thing you
not
can't
on
do
my
is speed 0.
card. It isn't. I've got 3 or 2. That's it. Presumably, if 1 is below my stall speed, and I
No.
literally just go.
No, 1 is a valid speed. You can max at 3. You can decelerate by 2 to 1.
Okay,
It's
yes,
if
sorry,
you hit
my
0
apologies.
that you are
Yeah.
going to drop out the sky.
But I just want to get over towards them and kill them fast. So far, it's looking like we can have a nice even split. Midas, we can have 3 each.
Yeah, that doesn't really work for me. How's about I take 1 and you do all the others?
Oh shit.
In which case, I am going to attempt something slightly silly.
I'll just do like what we did in the last big battle. I'll fly around and distract everybody and annoy the hell out of them until you shoot them down.
I am literally just going to go 3.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I'm doing.
Is Midas actually? Oh,
Yes,
I've
Midas
got-
did stop.
I've got one smallish gun.
He went looking for bullets. What do you think he was going to do? Just lob them
I've
out
got a
of the
catapult.
cockpit?
I'd say slingshot rather, Midas would call it.
Yes, good point.
Right.
Hmm.
Hmm?
Yeah, I know what I want to do, and it's not an available maneuver on the key. So it's obviously something I'm going to have to do as 2 rounds worth of maneuvering. I need to be going slower to be quite where I want to be, and that's not going to happen. I'm Midas.
I can't believe what I'm planning on doing. This is just wrong. What's the range
Please
on my
don't get me
guns?
killed.
God, you're petty.
Range is
Bush.
if you with the scales we can see it here. If you can see it, you can shoot it. Just get in line.
Yeah.
So
I knew there was some kind of explosive weapon with auto hit enchantments. Robinson, I think you've just hit upon the problem with that, with the word enchantment.
Hey, Magitech's a thing, just not in this setting.
Just not here. It's not.
I just want, a less magical version of Magic Missile.
I just find myself thinking how fascinating the Crimson Skies setting would be if it was this era in the Deadlands setting.
Oh God,
Oh,
that would
good
be
grief, that would be terrifying.
fantastic.
Fish. Chucks up.
Okay.
Don't say that. Really, the fish chucks up. No, not in my living room.
Not on camera, please. Not on camera.
I think for the moment I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just straight forward for now.
You're heading for the north ones, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as far as you know.
Uh-huh.
As you know.
This is when we just see him go off the edge of the map into the sunset.
Yes.
Screw you guys.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Now, because everything happens technically simultaneously, but I'm letting the faster planes get an advantage through seeing everything else. All shooting happens once all the planes have moved. So
Okay.
move the planes, and then everyone shoots when they're in their final positions.
Yeah.
Almost as if this was a Wiseman and Fassa game.
Yeah.
The move phase, then fire phase. Got a very BattleTech feel to it there.
Yep.
I've got
It-
2 of them at least who can shoot at me.
It works. It works. Right. So, now you've got 2 that could shoot at you at the moment. Correction, one of them that can shoot at you at the moment, because you're only in line for one. The other ones shoot past your nose. He is going to have a shot.
That's the guy in the middle, isn't it?
No, it's the guy on the end.
Oh,
The
okay.
guy in the middle shoots past your nose. The guy on the end has you dead to rights.
Speaking of shooting, with the tail gun, it swivels, right? So do we
Yes.
have to be in line?
You have, for the tail gun, you have an arc. Basically, you've got the line behind you and the hex to your left, the hex to your right, and everything in between.
I am having a BattleTech moment now.
So really, you need to fly straight through them, and I can just lay them out.
Yeah, to work together, what you do is you fly straight at them, blasting away with your guns, and then as you go through, Mithra picks off anyone behind you who you haven't
Yeah.
killed yet.
So, by
Funny
way
you
of an
should say
example,
that.
Mithra could, if they wanted, shoot either Dale or the Brit, because both are within arc.
Why would I want to shoot Dale? I love Dale. Dale is awesome.
Is the Brit actually within the... Oh,
Yes.
yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's 1 hex further in than I thought it was.
Drut, you'll be happy to know that with his average gunnery skill, he missed you.
Sweet.
Cool.
Damn, there's been no casualties yet? How boring.
Well, you
There's
say
been one
that.
casualty. I just banned someone.
Already? Blimey. Oh, it's one of them. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You
However,
rest in peace, Bot.
the the northmost wing has opened fire.
Presumably on Dale.
Yes, indeed.
But what about Chip?
Well, if they're
Dale may
sending
need
chips,
some
then
rescue
we're in
rangers
trouble.
after this.
Ooh, mysterious shadow guy.
Because yeah, so for those that can see, which is basically Mithra, you've got a bead on Dale's plane. Now Dale's plane, whilst it isn't a dedicated race plane, it's an interceptor style combat plane. So they're largely made of tinfoil.
Great.
The 60 cals on the Peacemaker have just torn massive chunks out of Dale's
God.
aircraft.
Damn it.
You can see Dale's plane rock under the impact of these things.
Do you want to run?
It would take one hell of a pilot to keep control of that aircraft after that sort of pounding.
Dale's a pretty good pilot.
I feel
Dale
like
can land.
building up
Dale will be
one.
able to land okay. I mean, they've survived a crash already.
And are currently sporting broken ribs as a result of said crash.
If
That's motivation.
you're
not
working on
crash
the,
again.
if we see it, we can shoot it. Yeah.
Yes, within range.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So noted.
So that's all the shooting. Looping back round to manoeuvring. Slowest plane goes first, which again is the Brit.
Yeah.
Who is going to try his luck.
At least there's plenty of water.
Well, yeah, I mean, a water landing is possible. No, he doesn't quite have the skill to go any further around than that. He can't shoot because the moving hasn't finished.
Knight,
Yes.
how do you factor in forward fire?
Forward fire is a straight line.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works in a hex grid. Because it's fine if you're horizontally or diagonal, but if you're vertically top down onto them, that gets
Then
pegging
generally
awkward.
you count staggered.
Vertically top
Okay.
down onto
With the
them. You'll always
range,
be
yeah.
facing one line or another on the hex grid.
Yeah,
Because your plane's facing is always on a flat side of the hex. You're never
Yes.
pointing a...
the thing is, the guys I want to shoot are on the line. They're coming off the point of the hex rather than coming off one of the flat sides.
Then you'll need to maneuver to be on the point.
Yeah.
On the line, rather.
How do I do that?
So,
Serious question. How do I do that?
okay, let's pull a couple of random planes in for a second. So, let's say this is you
Uh-huh.
pointing down this line.
Yeah.
If I can draw a line on it. Pointer. So you're pointing down that line.
Yeah.
And you want to shoot at that guy. As it stands, you can't.
Yeah.
He would
That's
need
not
to
a
be
million
there.
miles off where I want what I want to do. So
So-
what I do?
You need to get into a position where he's like that
Yeah.
rather than like that.
Yeah.
So right now, if you turn, you will be able to shoot the one on the bottom of that string.
But keep in mind, these will also be moving.
Yeah, I don't want to shoot the one on the bottom. That's not what I'm aiming for.
So if you're looking at the ones along the top, again, they are going to move, so you've got to anticipate to where they're going to be and have yourself pointing where you think they're going to end up.
I know.
Don't think, with regards to the vagaries of the hex map, don't think in terms of it being unrealistic because you can't just make a half hex turn and be pointed straight towards somebody. Think of it instead as being that the hex map and the requirement to maneuver into the right place on the hex map represents the toing and throwing and jinking and trying to get a shot lined up that is taking place.
No,
in-
that's
in-
fine. It's just literally I wanted to check because I'm still thinking I've still got BattleTech in my skull, where of course you do
Where
have.
you've got the torso twist and
Yeah.
arcs and you can,
Ah, right, yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you've got a weapon on your right arm in your current position, you can shoot all three of those guys with it quite happily. Yeah.
If your
Yeah.
plane was
But you're
facing the
not in
other
a
way,
mech, though,
if your
so-
if your plane was facing the other way, then Mithra would have the arc to do that.
I really hope Mithra, by the way, is strapped in.
There's going to be some interesting manoeuvres coming through, is there?
Yep.
Right. So
Mithra is a pilot. Mithra is very well versed in not dying in a plane.
Mithra has flown with Masha before, so yeah.
So we're up to speed 3 planes,
Yeah.
which is Drut and bad guys technically going simultaneous, but as this is a heroic game and the players are the heroes, I'll move the bad guys first.
Cool. So I'm fairly sure I know where they're going.
Oh, they're getting lined up and ready to try and I see what they're doing.
They're Tuscan Raiders. They're riding in single file to hide their numbers.
Yeah.
Well-
How does height work in this game? Because right now one of them has just flown straight in front of me.
If you happen to end up in the same hex, then there was a contested piloting roll to try and avoid each other. Otherwise, you can fly through it with no problem.
Right. Okay. Right then. So if I want to do a 2 hex facing shift,
A 2 hex facing shift.
sorry, a two side facing shift.
Yep.
Is that an L or is that an R? Or...
So it depends whether you're looking to turn left or right.
oh,
The-
that is just left or right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 3L2, I think.
3L2 is...
Yeah, 3L. No, sorry. 3L3, in
3L2,
fact.
you would 3L3, you'd be looking at going forward 2,
Yeah.
shifting 1 hex, forward 1, shifting another hex. Is that what you're?
No.
No.
Everybody remember where I parked.
Sides facing.
What I was thinking was I wanted to go to there. Started there.
See if you
Right,
That's
you go
not
there-
possible.
that's a not possible.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is an impossible maneuver.
yeah, you can't turn that fast.
Okay.
I wish I could like
Essentially, what they've done with the key is they've plotted out the hex facing turns that you can make within the distance that you're flying.
Yeah.
So rather than you figuring out, okay, I'm going to move forward 1, then 1 hex side, then forward 2, then another hex side,
They've done all
just
that
put
for
that
you.
onto the key for you and worked it all out in advance.
So if there's not an arrow there, you can't face that way.
Right.
if
But yeah, always bear in mind that your plane is in the 0S in the middle there.
Yeah.
So any location that you can actually get to is the ones with a 3 on that key relative to where you are now, with the facing shown in that space.
if you move to if you basically move 1 forward, turn to the left, and then move through that plane, I'd be able to hit at least 2 of them, if not all 3 of them.
Yeah, but that would leave me pointing in the wrong direction. Which is not what I was hoping for.
Well, if you turn to the right, going away, then I could hit them too.
Okay. Sorry, we're discovering how shit I am at war games.
It's a complex thing to drop into. I should have
It
given
is,
more
it
warning. My
is.
apologies for that. I should have
It's
given
fine.
more warning.
It's fine. I've never even seen the
Everything-
Here's the thing. I'm just getting my head around it.
Everything is fine.
Shut up.
If you want to rely on Mithras rather during the shooting, then 3L2 actually does seem to be a perfectly valid option.
Or indeed that.
Yeah, or indeed that would do the same thing. Yeah, but
Is actually what I wanted to do.
That perfectly fine. Straightforward, one facing. There's no G-forces needed in that.
yeah.
Very straightforward.
Yeah, it's throwing me slightly because they're not lined up with the hexes.
Yeah, I'm just
Yes.
trying to work out what your rear arc would actually be in that position. 'Cause
So
I'm
the
not really
rear
sure
arc
what it
is the square behind. So it's
Because if it's the hex behind and then angling out from that, they're outside of Mithras fire arc at the moment.
no, it's the hex behind, and the hex is immediately aft of the halfway line.
So yeah, so it's the
okay,
three
yeah.
started. He's
it's-
basically
it's-
can get on one of them.
Yeah, it's the back three hexes around the plane's
Yeah,
hex.
fair
Yeah.
enough.
I was just explaining that very, very badly.
Hey,
Again, in
one's
battle
better
tech
than none.
terms, it's the same that you would have with an arm.
Yes.
A rear-mounted weapon would be the hex behind and then an arc
Oh.
coming out from that. But an arm-mounted or a turret-mounted or arm-mounted weapon firing behind would be those three hexes and then going out from there. The same way
Yeah.
as on this.
It would be really handy to be able to customize the facing. So it's actually lined up with the hexes. It's
Yeah,
weird that it isn't.
I couldn't figure out how to do that. It worked
No,
fine in
that's-
testing, but having moved them here, they're just slightly off.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure why.
Okay.
Because planes don't fly in straight lines.
Shut up.
Actually, I think you'll find they do.
So
Not with all the air currents and the turbulence. They try in the most straight way possible, but older planes like this, they were all wobbling all over the place.
finish the movement. So
So yeah. That's basically where my arc is.
phew, that worked. Okay. And last but by no means least, fish.
Yeah. I think that
Okay.
Ah, shit.
I've unexpectedly got a notepad.
Yeah.
Indeed.
How do I kill it?
Was that meant to be shared?
with fire.
What
No,
happens?
it's just
There
shared.
should be
You've
an
just shared a
unshare
notepad.
button. It should be an unshare
Oh,
button. Whoever is sharing it.
No,
I thought I was one sharing it.
it was somebody.
that
I don't
confused
know.
me because my cursor was over. The notepad was on the right-hand screen. The cursor was on the left-hand screen.
Fair enough.
That was confusing.
Sorry, I apologise for putting my arc in if that shows up on your map,
I
but
think
I wanted to keep my head in straight as to where I can look.
you need to move the point to the hex.
Yeah. In terms
It's not.
underneath.
It's not the front arc I'm worried about, mate. It's the rear arc that's for your benefit because that's where the turret can fire.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to decide whether I want to try and do a 4G maneuver at this point.
Yeah, of course you are. You're a hotshot.
That's true, I am a hotshot.
How
So
is
I
that
am
ever
going-
a question?
I am going to slow to 3. There you go. 1, 2, there, and 1 hex facing in that direction.
Okay.
Should be my by my reckoning, 3L3 with a turn giving me a 4G maneuver.
Yep. So 4G is success, raise, raise.
Yeah, so this is where things go horribly wrong for Midas, and
No, tell
guess.
lie. Success and raise. You don't just need the one raise.
oh, that's lots better. Got a reasonable chance of that.
Hey!
Oh, blimey. If you're going to do a thing.
If you're gonna do a thing, I didn't quite get that second raise, but the maneuver was successful.
The move was indeed successful. Okay. So in terms of shooting, clearly Dale has decided that they want to have a go back, which does still put them in line with the guy that shot them. This may not go well for Dale.
They're fighting the subtle way, fly straight at your enemy and keep shooting.
Yes.
That tends to be the way I play in all video games.
Much the same. Would I be right in thinking that Shard is that Mithra is likely to be shooting?
Yes.
Yes, I didn't actually order you to on the grounds that I figured you know, if you saw someone in your face, you'd bite it.
I'm completely aware of the situation and I don't need orders.
You don't need all this, but you would benefit from some.
I'm
Oh,
going to
God.
throw a Benny in there.
Yeah.
Much better.
That's what you
Excellent.
needed, isn't it?
So, you are in the rear gun turret of.
I'm in the cockpit facing the back. The cockpit. Yeah, wow.
The cockpit.
Wow. Thank you, Molly, for helping me.
Moliere, we could see the
Apparently, Molly,
raised
you didn't need to.
eyebrows psychically from across the Atlantic.
Right, would you care to roll 2d6 damage?
2d6s. I could try. Off.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Well,
Boom.
What is the start?
maybe I've taken on Fish's style of dice rolling today.
Yeah, maybe. That's fine, so long as that means I'm not doing it.
Are we sure it's just not contagious?
Fish is contagious.
Oh boy.
It's a scurrilous rumour. Anyway, I've got a certificate from the doctor saying I'm clear now.
So what was the giant flamethrower that was there?
Just showing where it can fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of reference for the back of the plane, I know that in my head, I can see where I can shoot.
It was largely for my benefit.
Right, there is an exchange of gunfire that Chuck can just about catch sight of one part of. Whoever was shooting at, we know it's Dale. Dale managed to score some hits on the Peacemaker in front of them, but that was not terribly damaging. They, however, missed Dale in return. And no one else has any line of shots by the look of it.
Mhm.
So back to the slowest plane. And because, again, actually, Fish, you're running at 3 now as well, aren't you?
I'm running at 3 now as well, yeah, because I slowed down last round.
Which makes Dale the fastest plane. Right.
3 is my top speed.
Trying to make this turn
unfortunately.
at 5 was just, nope, not going to happen. Spot on, Robinson. Can you make shift something now?
Yeah, actually, can
Sure-
you make
I'm
shift
sure there
something
is some
now?
hardware around. You could quickly cobble something together with.
There's got to be anti-air guns on the ground somewhere.
It's got to be somewhere.
Is this anywhere near where I would be though? This is.
Do we have any rocket munitions at all that you can just make, create a makeshift man-portable launcher for?
Potentially, yes. That is actually a feasible thing.
I think realistically, this fight would have ended by the time I could put anything together.
Not
Be surprised.
necessarily.
Rocket munitions are a thing. If you can do a BA Baracus and cobble together some kind of very dodgy launcher mechanism, you could absolutely get involved in the battle.
Yeah. And if you can
Also-
manage that, we are going to change your call sign from Merlin to MacGyver.
Yes.
Nice.
Right.
Does this game allow for maneuvers such as the split S or the Immelman?
Sort of. So
Right.
it depends which version of the Immelman you're referring to. But largely, whilst the chart is a flat plane,
Mm.
maneuvers like the 1S4 is basically what you're talking about. One square forward, and then you're facing the other way at the end of it.
That's the beastie.
Yes.
So you basically want to do a flip after shooting them from the back end so that you can shoot them from the front end. I need to watch my words. Damn it, Molly.
I would definitely suggest that you Immelman that rather than split S.
Well, if I Immelman it, I won't end up upside down, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
Reading your comment there, Robinson, the split S is harder. I mean, the Immelman is tricky, but the split S is the one where you actually have to point yourself at the ground to do it.
Yes.
So that's a bit... It has a lower margin of error.
Yes.
If I recall correctly, the Immelman is basically up, flip, and round. And the
is
split
down.
S is the down, flip, and
Yeah.
round.
The version no one with any sense would ever do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Um,
I mean,
from-
the Immelman uses the stall to aid the turn.
It's all
Yeah.
I can do.
I think it was.
So
I think
that
it was
would
in Last Exile,
there.
which is also where I knew of the thing
There's
about
another name for that version of the Immelman. And I can't for the life remember what it is.
Tank slightly.
I've heard it referred to by a number of terms, including just simply the stall turn.
Which would basically put me there.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, look at the bad guys in my
Fish.
field of vision.
As a newly acquired speed 3, you're up.
All of the bad guys in your field of vision.
I was a little bit worried about these bad guys pointing
No, if I could-
towards my plane.
If I could fire in an arc, I would. Unfortunately.
Some airplanes do have a forward turret.
Mm.
This isn't one. of them.
Oh. Are all my guns on the same line?
Yes.
Mm.
You get to choose which guns you're firing.
Can I not fire everything?
They're not linked. You choose which guns you're firing.
No, you do not get to shout fire.
Merlin, when we get back to base, would you mind
What?
It-
duct taping the triggers together?
Going with
Yeah.
that thing that I can't remember the names of words now.
Fire linking?
What is the name of that mechanic? It's like Cyberpunk and various other games where you can link multiple triggers together.
Firelink is a thing. I keep thinking Alpha Strike.
I make that 3R2 and the 2G turn. To get
Yep.
to-
Did I need to make a piloting roll, by the way, for that
Oh
Immelman?
god, yes. Immelman
Oh, that
4G.
definitely needs the piloting.
So,
Yes.
With a raise.
with a,
I
yeah.
have an important question about the triggers. Since there are multiple guns, forward guns, would I be able to pull one of those triggers? Damn it.
You have control of the turret.
Right.
Not intentional, Molly. Not intentional.
Okay, so what am I rolling for? How many successes do I need?
So you're looking to roll gunnery.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm looking to roll piloting.
Oh,
for
sorry.
the,
Yes, we're not
Immelman.
shooting yet. We are still doing the Immelman. Right. So you're rolling piloting. You need
Yep.
two. Yeah, two success. You need a success and a raise.
Okay. So I need 8s.
Yeah. Fish, your maneuver was a 1G maneuver.
My maneuver was a 2G maneuver.
2G maneuver.
I got
Still
9.
just the basic success required. It's 3 and 4G where you need a raise. 5 and 6 where you need 2 raises. What was your result drop? Sorry.
9.
9. Blimey. Sorted.
D10 piloting.
See, the good pilots can do this stuff.
I'm just flashing back now to the most times I have played games along this lines. Is the various air combat games. Unfortunately, are X-wing or
Yep.
TIE fighter and Wing Commander,
Space combat.
which differed because Wing Commander used momentum, and you could therefore do these slide sideways while turning laterally.
FA off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything in Wing Commander was FA off.
Nice.
Elite Dangerous is very, very different.
Right, so all maneuver. No, not all maneuvers are finished. Because Dale still has to go.
Yeah.
Why? How is Dale still in the air?
Because Dale is badass.
I will get that number of that donkey truck.
So, Fish, from your perspective, you can see Dale pull the nose of the plane up. You can see the air brakes lift up. He's doing everything they can to slow down, which puts them right in the middle of the path of another aircraft. There may be a collision.
There's a whoops moment here.
There is a potential for a whoops moment. Both Dale and the enemy pilot may collide. Both are required to make piloting rolls, and do. Both pilots manage to not hit each other. Now, in these situations, these planes can't shoot each other. They don't have the right line of fire, because the line of fire starts at the next hex.
Yeah.
So, all planes have moved. Shooting. Right, would you like to shoot first?
I would love to shoot. I'm going to use the 60 cal cannon.
Nice. 60 cals are nice.
That looks like a D20. No, D12.
So you gunnery first. You've got to hit them before you roll the damage.
So D10 and D6.
Tickler.
Told you was a gunny and a shooty.
Pew pew pew.
Oh yes. Okay. The D6 can sod off because the D10 just exploded.
Oof. Okay.
Right. So that is 18
Bloody hell, that's a lot of raises.
on the 60 cal.
There's, I'm sure, some damage coming in off that if I could get the right tab.
Bloody hope so. I make it that. I need a god. I really wish you could ping in this. I honest to God wish you could ping. Because I make it that I am shooting at. Oh, hello. That's not right. This dude.
Yes.
Right. Quite like Unity, where you can just literally draw doodle all over the screen.
Buttons on Unity are so much better than all that.
They are.
Bear with me 1 second. I'll just double check it in the rules for getting that many raises on damage.
I thought it might be helpful for both me and audience to show exactly who I'm aiming at. And I really am sorry for being a bit crap at this.
A bit crap at
Yeah,
what?
plus 1d6 damage for the raise.
Woohoo! So is that?
That's regardless of how many raises. So
Yeah, it's not entirely clear. I'm just looking at the die type, which looks like a D12 to me.
yeah, the base damage is d12, and you're doing plus d6 for the
Okay.
raise.
This is not you. This is a color scheme choice. Because brown is with brown shading is
Yeah,
not the greatest on the
it's not.
planet.
It's not. It really isn't.
Oh, did I get any bloody D12s out? Did I, ducks?
I'm a little weirded out by the fact that it's not the theme I expect to see from the Savage Worlds rule set.
Yep.
I must admit. Which I think it used to be, but it's not now. Savage Worlds rule set, as I'm familiar with it, is white with custom graphics for the side menu,
It hasn't, but do
Yeah,
damage
has all
rolls
sorts.
explode?
funky stuff.
I believe they do. Yes.
Right, well, the D12 didn't. But the D6 does.
Oh jeepers.
So that's 21 in total.
Right.
I think I may just have surgically amputated his tail.
So the aircraft that Dale had very carefully put some 40 cal rounds into.
Yeah.
Madonna just unleashes with the 60. There's this boom, boom, boom from across the other side from where Dale and Chuck are, and the poor pilot of this British markings Peacemaker
Yeah.
explodes into quite a lot of
Oh.
pieces.
Where'd he go?
I just deleted him.
Oh, right, okay. No, that's fine. I was deleting the pointer. And I glanced up and suddenly that had gone and I thought, shit, what did I do?
I deleted him just like
Okay.
Madonna deleted him out of the sky.
Boom, boom, boom. This plane now comes unassembled.
It's just an FX kit now, that's all.
Okay. Right, so that's how this works. Right. Oh, what did the cat do?
Yes, you wouldn't have noticed because you were busy killing something, but the cat decided to attempt to destroy absolutely everything and jump through the wire on my headset. He actually pulled the headset off my head, in addition to displacing my mouse mat, mouse, and keyboard.
Oh, God.
Wow.
And somehow managing also to send me back to the base desktop on the PC. So I had to bring all the windows
Gotcha.
back up. I just had nothing for a moment.
Cat.
I'm not sure where he is now. Probably coming to try and do the same thing to you.
Right. So Dale once again unleashes the 40 cals on a Peacemaker and does some damage.
What's weird is I have his treats in here, but they've vanished and I don't know where they've gone.
You're going to try and lure him away from fish so that doesn't happen again.
Kinda. I'm also thinking that they were here and I didn't move them.
So, Fish, from your perspective, again, Dale has put some rounds into the Peacemaker that's pretty much right in front of him, and of them, sorry, and doesn't seem to have done a vast amount of damage, but definitely did hit.
Well, so far this is following the pattern that I expect a fight involving Midas to follow, which is that Midas is flying around and not actually doing any use.
You are distracting them with your fantastic flying.
Well, no, I'm not really. I'm just flying very boringly over here and they're ignoring me, which is fine by me.
They're not ignoring you, they're just failing at trying to work out where you're going to be. Right, so, back to movement. Slowest planes first.
Dale,
It's not Dale.
no, the other one.
Yeah, it's the Brit.
Yeah.
And then everyone else apart from Dale is on 3, so I shall move the bad guys first.
I'm going to be finding cat treats, aren't I, under the bed
For months.
for months. Yeah, if the little bugger figures out how to get the bag open. Give him his fish, he'll be fine.
I can see him now, standing there, staring at me. He's coming back for another try. No, shut off, you little bastard.
It's good to know you love your
And
moggy.
I mean that with all affection. But the important point is, I mean that.
Okay, I'm now facing in that direction. How do you sidestep us effectively?
You can't.
Uh-huh. So I have to turn, fly in the straight line, then turn again, yeah?
Depends what you mean by
I mean,
sidestep.
depends. You
If-
can't
if-
over a certain speed. If you're going
Yeah.
slow enough, you can do a side
So
step.
at speed 2, a 2R1 or 2L1 can be a sidestep because you maintain your facing. You just slide 2 that way or slide 2.
I take it,
Same
if you're
goes-
moving at 3, you can't.
Same goes for the L2L and R2. That's a slightly... Basically, 2L1, 2L2, and the equivalent on the right-hand side
Yeah.
are a significant jink to the left or right, or a minor jink to the left or right.
Yeah.
But if you're going faster than that, you can't do it. At speeds of 3 and above, that maneuver is not available.
So I'm going to be in a contested piloting check then. Because, fuck it.
If you're occupying the same hex as another plane, you both need to succeed the piloting check. Unless you're intentionally trying to ram, then it's contested.
If either of you fails, then they smack into the other one, yeah?
Yeah. So it's one of those situations where you can do everything right and still be in a world of pain because the other guy got it wrong. Excellent.
I figure that gives me and Mithra a chance to do something.
It does, absolutely. Right. Fish,
I'll
you're up.
listen to him.
Yes, and give him a bit more central order as well.
Do not like how this
And
has
yes,
panned out.
making a piloting check.
So I think
I'm throwing in a Benny on that one.
Good. I shouldn't need to.
I think I'm going to open up the throttle here because I don't like the number of people who appear to be flying towards me with guns pointed in an approximately me-ish direction. So
16.
I reckon that if I go
Absolutely fine.
forward 2, turn 1,
Yes, me
hex
throwing a
racing,
chip in
and
was
then
to not collide with you.
forward
that's handy.
further 3, that will be a 5R3, which is a 4G maneuver.
It is. So again, piloting roll needing a raise.
I can't do anything like that fast. Nelly is ridiculously quick.
And I will be spending a penny on that one because I don't have my raise.
Oh no! Pull up, bing, bing.
Oh, up. Ah! That went weird. Sorry about that.
The situation where Microsoft suddenly starts saying overspeed, overspeed.
Darth Clippy
That's
appears.
better. 9. That's a raise.
There we go. Right.
So I'm totally unable to get a bearing on anyone to shoot at them, but I'm quite good at just flying around the outside and waving pom-poms.
Yeah. You need to get some banners behind you with actual pom-poms trailing off them. Or possibly smoke bombs designed to explode in colours.
Forget the smoke bombs. What I need is just a smoke dispenser on the back of the plane. I can just fill the whole area with smoke.
Yes.
See if they crash into each other.
That would be a really bad idea for Dale to do that.
Heh.
Sorry, fish. I'm very, very sorry.
How can you hit him?
But I need you to make a piloting check.
Oh no! Okay, if I fly around the outside here, I should be. What the bloody hell?
It is just a straight piloting check. There's no need for
That's
any
okay
raises.
then. Straight piloting, I made.
We can't hear you, Shard.
That explains so much. I was saying that explains why you said, "Oh no, I need to use a chip."
Oh no, the chip was for this bad guy here.
Oh,
Because whilst he is part of the opposition, he doesn't really want to be colliding with a bigger, heavier plane.
I don't understand why.
So,
Well, when
shooting.
Mummy played with
I
Bad
shall be
Dad
greeting
game.
Dale with an ancient Teutonic gesture, in the words of the bullshit Drummond movie.
Yes.
With the shooting, since they're lined up so perfectly, does that mean that
You pick one. Or the truck picks
have
one.
to pick one? Can't
Can
shoot both of them?
penetration be
You
a
need
thing?
armor-piercing bullets to just go through, straight through the lot.
Nope. Nope.
It's like Sniper Elite, you get 4 kills with 1 bullet.
6 is still my record.
Bloody hell, 6 kills. That is impressive. Lined
To
up
be
for
fair,
easy
the first
access.
kill was a grenade,
Okay.
and they were in the
I don't count
parade line.
grenade kills for that.
Yeah,
Even, 3's the most I've managed with, not counting grenade kills.
yeah.
3's
I
the
think
most
4
I've
is my
managed.
when they were all neatly lined up, but 2 of them were testicle shots.
So,
Mine are
Druck and
always
Shard,
headshots, so
you are shooting.
Never get headshots.
get headshots all the time. Let me see how you can get anything else.
I always get intestines and testicles.
I mean, 11's pretty good.
That hits.
Right. I'm using the 60 cal again. Oh god.
Yeah, 60 cal does have some good boom to it. So, Shard, you're on 2d6 damage for yours.
Very
There
poor
it
armor
is.
penetration though, 60 cal.
Oh, that's much better than last time.
How much extra damage do you do with a high roll?
You
That
get
was a
plus
D6,
1
wasn't
d6.
it? Yeah.
Yep.
You don't get any better than plus 1d6.
No matter how many raises.
Darn it. So 29.
Holy crap. Which one were you shooting at?
I was shooting at that guy, if you can see which one I have highlighted.
No, I can't. Basically, there's
The one right in
immediately-
front or the one farther away?
Well, the one right in front of me, who I'm going to have to fly through in a minute. I was going to shoot at the one right next to me.
So you can't shoot the one in your hex, so the one in the next
No,
hex adjacent. Yep. Fine.
Yeah. I think he's just gone.
60 cals, when they do good damage, are devastating.
Yeah.
When you do that much damage, that thing is not staying in the sky. It is worth noting that the planes you're fighting against also have 60 cal, so the same could happen
Yeah.
to any
Yes.
of
You
you.
mentioned that earlier.
Yes. No, I had I had successfully erased that from my memory.
And this is why
Thank
Dale
you for
decided
that.
to slide out to the right, so they weren't in line of fire of any of them.
Hmm.
Because from your position, Chuck, you can see that there's a lot of Dale's plane missing.
Yeah.
Comes unassembled.
It's that's an interesting new look that you got there. I notice you've gone for a nice breezy, air-conditioned kind of feel to the place.
In fact, let's have a. Oh god, is it notice? Is it perception? What the hell's the skill called in this version of in this game? I forget. I've played so many games, I forget what the spot things is.
Notice.
Notice.
Can we have a notice roll, please, Fish? Because in the avoiding Dale, you might just see this.
That's 5.
Yay.
That is enough to notice as you're busy giving Teutonic gestures and avoiding colliding. The slight red coloration on the cockpit canopy.
Okay. If I know what radio channel he's on, I'm going to flick my radio to that channel. Or they're on.
All through the race, all the racers have been on the radio
Yeah.
comms channel, listening out for
So
any
I'm-
directions from race command.
Sticking with that comms channel. Dale, get out of the goddamn sky. You've been shot, you idiot.
I was going to make a joke, but then I realized, but there are cases where people don't realize they've been shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, adrenaline can do that.
Yeah.
Except for the splash of red all over the cockpit part.
It's not all over the cockpit. It's just a splash of red on the side of the canopy as you come.
Oh, okay.
That's red. It's not
Damn
like
it, they've
completely
damaged
red.
my plane and destroyed my burger.
Burger.
Yeah, it's just ketchup. It's not blood at all. As the
You know, I
McDonald's wrapper
wouldn't
goes
put it
flying
past
out of
Dale to
Dale's
do so.
cockpit.
There's a phenomenon I heard about where you can be shot or have a shrapnel injury. Anything small, sharp, pointy, and fast moving. And the skin effectively seal itself after the thing goes in. So
Yep.
people have actually dropped dead of internal injuries
Yep.
because they've been basically shot and no one believes them. It just looks like a bruise.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, shrapnel is a bugger.
Yeah.
It's generally more the shrapnel than the bullet that does that, because shrapnel tends to be smaller and more fragmented. It's a bastard. Right. Back to movements. Slowest plane. Now, with that manoeuvre, Dale slowed right down, so he's currently the joint slowest plane on the board.
Dale needs to get out and land.
Yes! Tail's going to do
I
rather
hope he
better.
he lands first before he gets out.
See,
A couple more 60 cal shots and that won't be an issue.
if
I was going to get out of the plane, but the plane got out from around me.
The plane
if
got
it
up.
was even
Yes.
remotely safe to do so, when I first saw him get shot, I was going to be like, "You need to fly over Dale and let me drop onto his plane." Emergency medical airdrop. Woo!
You know that Immelman, which is one forwards and then flip? Can I do that?
One forwards and then flip.
Yeah, but I'm
Okay.
waiting to see what the bad guys do first, obviously. On the heroes
Yeah.
go last.
Right, bad guys. So that's the speed 2's done, speed 3's.
Have you realised that Nelly looks like Finger Mouse?
Not until you said it, no.
I wish you hadn't said that.
Chrono!
Sorry.
Unfortunately, that would be falling, not flying.
Parachuting dog.
Where's Hope's going to go? Let's see.
I don't think we have parachutes though.
Speak for yourself.
All I can imagine now is the episode of Star Trek Enterprise where they have to get the engineer from Columbia over to Enterprise, and they do it with a grappling hook while they're at Warp 5.
God! Oh, I'd managed to erase
That-
that one from my memory.
That really shouldn't work.
No. No.
They had
way.
they lined up the two ships at warp,
Don't
and
care.
they merged the warp
If-
fields, and then
if
they
they're
had
sharing-
grappling hook, and they had to literally zip line and engineer across between the two ships.
I don't see how it couldn't work, because if they are literally sharing a warp bubble, that area of space that's in the warp bubble is static and safe.
Yeah, but you're making the assumption there that they have the technology to share. Well, they made the assumption that,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they had the technology to share the warp bubble.
Well, obviously they did. It's canon.
I mean, you could
It
argue
didn't up
that
until that episode.
you could argue that specifically the NX class was able to do it because they had that gyro warp bubble stabilizer thing on in between the nacelles. I know that
Also-
because I have the NX technical. Where the hell is
Also,
it?
every piece of science
Somewhere.
has canonically been added later as something has happened to be like, oh, well, we've always been able to do this, it just didn't come up. Or, hey, this is no, yeah, that's
Or
how Star
sometimes we know we explicitly told you we couldn't do this earlier, but now we're saying that we can and we always
now
could.
we can.
Okay, I can
Right.
safely decelerate by up to 2, can't I?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm dropping my speed from 3 to 2 and changing my facing by 1 to the left.
I like the NX class technical.
Yep.
Okay. Wait, you turned. Okay.
Which is 2 rotates because it thinks you can do a line.
You're gonna take out the one that thinks it's gonna get.
Yeah, there's one that's looking quite menacingly towards Midas,
mhm,
and
yeah.
I'm not happy about that.
Speaking of Midas,
I'm going to throttle down again.
Throttle up and ride your pony, stick around and you'll be.
Because that didn't put me in the right place. Hang on, let me.
yeah,
try
it
that
doesn't
again.
always rotate to.
Now
the
I
hex
seem
facing.
to be facing the right way.
Yeah.
I'll
Finger
make that
bobs.
3R1, which is a 2G maneuver.
Excellent. So again, success and raise, please.
And I can shoot, but only at one of our allies. Not-
He's actually
I
not
like that-
contributed to the fight at all because he's so damaged he can't really fly.
I like that Chuck is literally flying circles around the opponents.
yeah, and that unfortunately is not a bloody race. So I'm wasting all of my
Or your
chips
chips.
on things that I really shouldn't need to use chips for.
You're wasting
You're
your
wait-
chips on not falling out of the sky.
Okay, I'm falling out of the sky.
So
But
well,
I
Please
haven't actually completely screwed up yet, so I can keep
Yeah.
spending chips.
So what you, as it stands, you have lost control of the aircraft. So if you do nothing else from this point on, you will go forwards at your current speed. Do
Yeah,
and do
I've
nothing else.
lost it.
And then,
I've used 2 chips on this roll
Ooh,
and
Jesus.
still failed it on all 3 rolls.
Have you got
So
any more
I've
chips left?
I've got 1 more chip. I'm not going to
Save
spend
it.
all of them on one roll. I've just lost control of the aircraft.
so for
I'm currently in open space, plenty of air, nothing to crash into. I've got time to regain control.
yeah. So what will happen? Your aircraft will move forward straight and level at the current speed, and then you can roll to regain control next turn as your action. So there's no shooting, no flash maneuvers.
So does that mean that I did or didn't pull off my maneuver this round? Did I do
You've
the
got
maneuver
the
and
final
lose control,
position,
or-
but your next round will go straight
But
because you've
now
lost.
I'm out of
Yeah.
right. Okay.
So that's all maneuverings, shootings. Drop, would you like to shoot first?
I would love to shoot first. Drop shoot first.
You know,
None of
I
this
do
Han
like-
Solo shit.
I do like the way that this map 2D tries to show aerial combat, because the way that the planes are moving, even though there's no 3 dimensions to it, it's obvious that fighting in a plane is chaotic.
Yeah, it really is.
Right, 6 is exploding. Everybody cross them. So that is a total of 11.
Nice. So again, you're rolling your D12 plus D6 damage.
Yep.
Good God. It's worth noting that the Maquette is considered a heavy fighter.
16.
Only
Nice.
16.
He was only 16.
Only
And
16.
hopefully then there were 3.
Pop goes the weasel.
So, of the 3 that are left, do any of them have bullet holes in them, or are the ones that have died the only ones that have had bullet holes in them?
Every aircraft still flying has bullet holes in it on the opposing side.
Sweet. That means I've shot 2 of them. Because there's only 2 people actually hitting them right now, and they're in one plane.
Dale shot someone.
Did he?
Yeah,
Oh,
Dale,
okay.
Dale has shot someone.
Sorry. Would people rather I just not shoot?
What?
So both Chuck and Madonna get a very good view of what happens to their right. The Peacemaker unloads with the 60. Again, Dale's plane shudders under the impact.
Fuck.
Somehow, that thing is still flying.
Holy shit!
There's a lot of skin off the aircraft missing. There's a lot of airframe and internal structure showing. There are parts where you can see through the aircraft. And there may be a little bit of smoke coming out the engine.
Dale,
let
if you
us
can.
cover you and put it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Aren't
You
you
got
currently
nothing to
flipping and
prove.
spiraling?
I can talk while I'm struggling desperately to regain control of my plane.
Oh, is that part of his call in savoir-faire?
Yeah, absolutely.
Special skill, multitasking.
Yes.
Part of being a hotshot.
So,
Mithra's gonna call Dale as well. On the same channel. Dale, get the fuck out of the sky. I cannot fix you if you're in the sky. Get down, let us finish cleaning up these assholes, and I will get down there to help.
Down.
okay, so slowest planes go first. So I know both Dale and the Brit were moving at 2. I think everyone else was above. Were you 2, Drup?
I am now on 2, yeah.
So again, Drup, Dale, and the Brit will move. Dale is going to be accelerating, unsurprisingly,
Yeah. What we'll see.
and yeah. So the bad guys are on 3. So Drup on a 2. It's you.
Hang on a minute.
No worries.
3R2. I think. No, sorry, 2R2. I'm not accelerating. So I'm punted there, so that would be 1, that would be 2. So 3R2 is showing a 2G turn, I think.
3R2. If you're turning to, where are you?
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, that is your 2G turn.
Yeah.
So that's a piloting roll needing a raise, please.
Okay. Because I reckon that puts both those in the rear arc of my guns.
It does.
Off you go, Mithra. You'll go.
We just need that piloting roll first.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no doubt that you can make it.
Well, fortunately, the 6 exploded. Although I did only just make a 4 on the other one, so I got a total of 11.
Unfortunately, turned like in that hex, I'm not going to be able to hit anyone.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
You've got rear
I
arc.
thought.
Rear
it was-
arc.
Okay.
It's not in the lines,
arc.
rear arc.
I was thinking of just the 3 lines going straight out from.
No.
Okay.
So you've got an
No,
arc.
that's
if
the
I can-
front. Bear in mind you're on the flat bit at the back.
Your arc
I
goes
think I
from
know what
down,
you-
down line, down,
what you meant.
down that line.
Yeah, I get it now. I just was.
It's a wider arc than your instinct wants to tell you that it is.
Yes.
I can't fire because the bastard's just out of my field.
But they haven't finished moving yet, because don't forget, drop was slow.
True.
So
True.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the 1 will still be in my arc.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I'd want to pick and choose which one has the most damage to it to shoot.
True.
Motherfuck.
Okay, so one is still in your arc, and the other one is apparently going to kiss Nelly.
alright, Fish.
Okay, yeah.
Is there a way for you to like turn and then do whatever that S maneuver was that you guys were talking about or whatever, and then come in shooting him? Because that would be kick ass. Oh, right, you have to move 3 ahead. That's right, because you're out of control. Damn it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Fish has to go 3 ahead and maintain facing.
So
And then roll to
basically,
regain control of the aircraft.
I'm going to there and then rolling to get control of my aircraft.
Get control. Left hand down a bit.
That'll
That'll do it.
Yeah, you see, now that would have been absolutely fine for the maneuver that I was attempting to perform previously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, everyone has finished moving.
Oh,
Shootings.
thank you. Welcome back to the party, Nelly. Nice of you to actually agree with me for once.
That is worth a chip.
Yes.
Good, because I need them.
Chips, dips, chains, whips.
If only I could give chips out.
I've got loads of chips. I just can't think of any good reason for me to be able to pass them on.
Robinson,
Hello, Splody.
were you planning to go ahead with your makeshift rocket launcher? Because I heard it discussed, but I didn't hear you say, yeah, I want to do that.
I was thinking of you. You know, like how depth charges work, but in the opposite direction.
You're looking to make an airburst rocket.
Yeah, that's. I didn't know. They probably exist. I have no idea what they're called.
Are you seriously wanting to make a rocket with to whom it may concern?
You'd,
Yes,
you'd
that-
basically, I imagine you would be calculating how the flight time, and just putting a timer on the explosive.
Yeah,
Just
pretty much.
launch it up and have it go off after
X amount of seconds.
Yes.
If that's what you want to do, you can absolutely do that.
Yeah, that's basically what. Because I actually hitting something is probably not quite possible. So I figured it'd be more just to be disruptive.
You're
Yep.
basically creating rocket-powered ACAC.
Yeah, rocket flak.
Hmm.
You can absolutely do that. You have the bits to make that happen.
You have the technology.
That would be weird science, wouldn't it?
It
'Cause
would.
it's making something new.
Yes.
That's a strange science.
Flak rockets.
I mean, the weird science skill is all well and good, but I honestly don't think that creating Kelly the Block is going to help us in this instance.
Where's my? I've got so many like little images and windows open. I gotta find my.
So you've got to find your character sheet now for your weird science skill.
Mm.
Ah, there it is. Oh, that's not good enough. I'm gonna use one of my many chips that I just.
You've got to
never
raise.
Not good
find
enough.
one.
You got
I
to
mean-
roll with a raise.
Yeah, but
It's
if we're
not
gonna
good
do
enough.
something, it needs to be, you know,
That's
dramatic.
the
He's
second
making a
raise.
rocket, so he needs it to explode. I get it now.
Also, he has like 20 chips.
Yeah, I have so many
Mm.
chips. I just don't know what to do with them, so I'm just gonna
Just
spend them
just
on
remember,
something
if
I
you
really
roll a
think of.
critical failure, there's no getting away from that.
Handle with
Boring.
care.
Oh,
Dice
give
may
me a good
explode.
number.
A critical failure in this case would have him what?
Why
Setting
Blow
it
half
off
of the
by
bad
know
debt up.
every time. This is slightly scary. I got 9, then an 8, then a 7. Is it counting down?
It is.
something?
Yeah, it's counting down to that critical failure where it goes
Yep.
off in your hands.
Yeah.
But at any point, you can, before that critical failure, you can go back to the 9.
Okay, right, there we go. I'm just gonna settle with a 9 since I got it twice.
Okay, so taking one of the air-to-air rockets that haven't yet been equipped to any of the aircraft that you have, because who needs it when you've got Madonna's 60 cals? You know, one burst of fire, aircraft falls out the sky. Another burst of fire, aircraft falls out the sky. You don't need rockets when you've got Madonna's 60 cals.
I do. I think before the next air combat that we get into, I am going to have severe talks with Merlin about putting a couple of rocket racks underneath Nellie's wings, because this gun is pathetic even if I manage to line up on it.
Yeah,
So,
true.
Frankly, rockets would be
Yeah.
a better idea.
You've got the same gun that Dale is using.
Yeah, and I noticed that Dale hit with it, and nothing fell out of the sky.
Yes. So,
See, when
Robinson.
I get the EMT, whatever plane that is, I'm going to want to have guns on it. But I don't want rockets on it because that would be unsafe for any passengers I need to transport.
Robinson, while the battle's been raging, you've been rummaging around. You've got some rocket ordnance. You've cobbled together a very, very makeshift tube to launch from. You don't know how many launches you will get out of this tube. And you have some ordnance that will work as designed as flak. All you need is to get somewhere clear that you can safely launch from. You know, leaning out of a window maybe.
Leaning out of a window in the bad... Doesn't the bad deck have, like, decking around the side?
I don't really want to launch it from right next to the, big
The big bags
flammable
of hydrogen.
containers.
I will ignite this rocket engine right next to this flammable gas bag. That'll
Sorry,
be fine.
can I just pause one moment there? Because Merlin just used his common sense.
Oh dear.
That
This-
is not a thing that we need to stop and take note of. That is a perfectly normal behaviour. However, Robinson also used common sense,
Good point.
and that is rather more noteworthy.
Well done, well done. This is somebody. God, give him a Scooby snack or
You're
something.
gonna make me blush.
This needs
So-
to be encouraged. Exactly. Give the man a
I
Benny.
was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah,
Grona.
that's worthy of a
I've
Benny.
just spent like 8 of them trying to get rid of them.
There you go, you've got one back.
Well,
So-
then, obviously, this will discourage you from showing common sense in future.
Given that the dogfight has been going on a while, and your initial request was a few turns ago, and I completely got engrossed in the combat, my humble apologies for that. Having cobbled this together in A-Team / MacGyver style, getting
Shoot
to
one.
a suitable launch point is not a problem.
We're just going to
So
gloss
on
over.
on the next round, you will be able to launch,
Okay.
and I will have a lot of fun with that. So
Oh, good.
I'm excited now. I get to do something.
shootings. Drop, would you like to shoot first?
No,
I'm
that's me.
not. That's Mithra.
I actually already rolled the shoot roll because I forgot that we were working with Robin first. So 8 was the roll.
8
So
is a hit
2.
with a raise, so you're rolling the damage for your gun plus d6.
3d6.
Wow.
Wait, 3d6? I thought it was
Yeah.
2d6.
It's
It's
2d6 for the
2d6,
gun, plus an extra d6 because you've got a raise on your to hit.
Oh. There we go.
And
I've
do the
only been-
damage dice explode? Did we say?
They
Because
do.
that's a 6.
So if you've got a
so-
6, roll and add
Roll
it.
So that's
Again.
another one.
Yep. Hell.
This is the
That's
twin
lots.
30s in the back.
See, this means that I didn't roll the proper dice the last 2 times I hit.
Oopsie.
Oh well.
Oh, this is weird.
So
I've
that
got
is
dual whinging cat.
7, 12, 16 damage.
And there is one trying to shoot down Dale.
He is wandering
Motherfucker.
around with a cat toy in his mouth. That's why he's making that noise.
Oh.
You'll be happy
He
to
does
know
this.
that he missed.
Thank you. I wish we could use our chips to make things fail.
So, Robinson,
Yeah.
I would like you to pick one hex on the board
Okay.
where your airburst is going to detonate,
Oh god.
and it will damage each of the immediately surrounding hexes.
Oh, that's Oh god.
Now
That's a lot of
imagine
character.
imagine that the enemy planes they can move 3 spaces and turn, or turn and move 3 spaces. They're probably going to be heading. I mean, the one is definitely heading towards Dale. The one that's farthest away might be trying to come all the way back around to either hit Dale or Merlin.
It's gonna try and hit me. Well,
Midas.
that's
Midas.
hot twist.
Well, they're hitting you with your rocket launcher. They're coming down for a scraping run.
Yeah. Try to predict night.
I mean, I guess the safest. How do I ping? I forgot how you ping on this.
You can't.
There's not so much a ping as you need to put a marker down.
Yeah. If you right click, you can draw pointers, and one
Yeah.
of those is a circle. Well, a couple of them are circles.
Pointer. Oh, there's a small burst option.
Yep.
It's not actually going to show up. Where do I still- Oh, there it is.
No, that's me.
I need to move it in place.
That's me.
If you put it there, it is highly likely that
That
Dret and I would go right through it.
Let's try again. Or did it just not show up there?
It's not showing up.
It's not showing
Oh,
up.
there's one bottom left.
that's mine. That's mine.
Oh, all right.
The best part is,
No, it's not letting me place
no
it.
one's gonna know that this is happening because Merlin has said shit.
No,
Nope.
Merlin hasn't said a thing.
We have no clue.
The first thing that any
No.
pilot is going to know is when this thing goes boom in the middle of the sky.
Boom,
Yeah.
shake,
That's
shake,
even
shake.
better. Yeah, I can't seem to place them for some reason. Maybe it's because I'm placing.
You should be able to.
Hang on, let me try
So
again.
right click, pointers.
Small burst.
Oh, I see. It's because I keep dragging it off.
There you
rather
go.
than- That work?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, I've got to remember what tile I was trying to put it on now.
Yeah, ideally not that one.
Uh,
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
that's not a bad placement, honestly.
I think it was that one I was looking at. It might be the one slightly lower.
Well, once you've decided, let us know, and then the slow planes will move.
Hang on, let me bring the move template up so I can actually see what's.
Did Dale do a side thing?
Dale has done
I
all
thought you-
sorts of fancy maneuvers, yes.
Okay. Because I thought he was like right lined up with the guy that just shot him, but you know.
No, he is lined up with the guy that just shot him. That's this guy here.
Oh,
Actually,
Wait, but-
I'm going to stick with the tile I just put it on.
Okay, cool.
Trying to centralize. it.
Right, slowest planes first.
Ah. my brain. Straight lines are hard.
Let's see. So that is a 3G maneuver.
The hardest part was working out like not hitting someone I didn't mean to, rather than working out how to hit what I wanted to hit.
Which he does with no problem. Dale is moving at speed 4, so he's not slow. So speed 3s, that's Madonna and the bad guys, I think,
And me.
and Fish.
Yeah.
So bad guys first.
Looks promising.
Hell yeah!
No boom today. Boom tomorrow. No, wait, boom now, in fact.
Boom, boom when the shooting happens.
Yes.
So,
Watch out for the boom.
Oh, no.
Boom. Yes. Love that.
Jesus. are a gem and a gentleman.
Yes, absolutely. Right, Masha. So
So yes, Fish and Madonna, you are manoeuvring.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to decelerate back to 2,
Okay.
and
You know, that's
There.
going to be funny. You're going to shoot him,
yeah,
and they're going to explode at the same
Yes.
time.
yes, that's going to be interesting. But I don't know.
Hey,
This is the
I
problem. I
know.
can't.
I am also decelerating to 2. And I think actually I'm flying my plane backwards for the entire.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But hey,
Yes, you're
That's
with
cool. So small, I really can't tell.
And for some reason, I keep
Um,
reading it as it's a pusher, isn't it, Nelly?
No.
It is a
No,
puzzle.
Nellie's a
I
tractor.
actually just cannot see what the image is at all. It's because it's just too small on my.
it's because you
Yeah.
haven't gotten your glasses yet.
It's,
The
Oh,
red
I've
is the
got my
nose.
glasses. They'd be no good to me over there. They're for reading this.
The red is the nose where the
Closer.
propeller is. So currently you're pointing at the same aircraft that Drut is
Yeah,
that's
this
going to get hit by
poor
the flak.
bugger over here is going to get blown up and shot by everybody.
This is that classic. How do you tell where the villain is, where the
But-
bounty is in Elite Dangerous? You look for the cross
Yeah, but
of
this is a
everyone's lasers.
3G maneuver to get there, by my reckoning.
Okay, 3G. So that is again success and a raise.
at least the cell reception will be good.
What's opposed to 5G, which nobody can get?
But 5G has given us COVID.
That's a raise.
That's a raise. I actually
Excellent.
got a raise.
Yay!
Right.
And for the
Oh.
first time ever, I have something in my sights.
Yes, but it's going to get blown up by Robinson. Let
Right.
him go
You
first.
know how I want this
Robinson.
to look? What I want to happen is for Fish and Drut to shoot and miss, or maybe score like a 1 damage hit,
Now, the thing
and
is,
then moments
Robinson's
later.
got to hit the square the hex he aimed at first.
Yeah, no, I know
Robinson.
exactly what's going to happen. What's going to happen is I'm going to fire, miss, and detonate the rocket before it reaches the target hex.
So, roll me your
Yes.
gunnery skill, please, Robinson.
Wait, what skill?
Gunnery.
Gunnery.
Oh no. Unskilled with
Shooting.
the B4 -2.
It's shooting / gunnery
Yes.
down underneath
Shooting
science.
shooting brackets gunnery.
Assuming
You may not
must
have it.
have
which you probably don't.
Which would be
Nah.
an unskilled. Oh,
So that's an unskilled roll, yeah.
But you do get a D6
Yes.
as
So,
well.
But it
roll-
is at -2 to the result.
yes. Roll an
I
unskilled,
know.
please.
I think shooting was one of the ones that I sacrificed because
Oh,
I didn't think I'd
God.
be using it.
Oh god.
So I've built this thing. I wonder how it works.
Point.
Point.
Oh, it comes out that end.
Yeah. Just completely forget about the counterbalance and you just hear something whip
Oh,
off backwards, tear a hole.
God.
So this is where Robinson does the rocket jump and launches himself.
I've
The
been
rocket
speedrunning
fires
too
absolutely
many
fine,
games
but it
like
doesn't
this.
release, and he just is carried with the tube up into the air.
Ah, look at
Oh.
that negative
Ram
two.
right
Right.
there,
It
there.
wasn't a critical failure. So you can spend chips to re-roll if you
Chip.
wish.
chip,
Yes.
chip, chip,
Yeah.
chip.
Chips.
Finally.
We want this to
practical
work.
sport.
We hope it's chips. It's chips.
I'm kind of hoping for the critical failure.
I'm not.
Deviation.
I mean, I got
Phil.
a number this time. That's
Yes, you've got a
impressive.
number. It wasn't a high enough number, but it was a
It needs to
number.
be a 4. It needs to be a 4.
Basically, you need to explode.
Don't say that.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god.
No, yeah, that one did it, didn't it?
So the
Okay.
the first few are him just lining up with the line. Now, no. Yes.
Right.
He actually doesn't shoot it like a normal person. He's just got it on a stand, and he's there with a protractor and a piece of paper and a pencil, calculating the angle.
Yes.
He isn't even looking when he launches it.
This is why triangles are important in school, kids.
Right, so Drut, Fish, you've got your eye on this plane.
Yeah.
You're about to click down the guns. Robinson, would you care to roll a d8 plus a d6 for damage, please? As a cloud of shrapnel explodes in this general area.
A D8 plus a D6.
Yikes.
How do you roll two different types of?
You roll them individually, if need be.
Well, there is an easy way to do this. What you do, pick up one of the dice, drop it into one of the quick slots down at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes, then pick the other
Pick
dice.
up the second die, drop that into the same quick slot, and it will add them together. Then you can just use that quick slot, drag that to the chat box,
Just
and
like
it'll roll
that.
it.
Excellent. So that's
8 damage from shrapnel.
oh that was Chuck rolling that as an
That
example.
was me doing a demonstration
Oh.
of how you do it. It
Oh.
wasn't actually.
I got caught by that as well, Shard.
That one's.
I would love to see 16 damage from shrapnel, though.
Yeah, that's
8
even better.
damage. It's still 8. It's 6 plus 2.
I mean, it's exactly the same
Yeah.
number, I know, but it's a better way of rolling it.
clearly.
Because you got a 6, and I didn't.
Yeah, actually, well, that's fair. But the 6 was on the 10, so
Yeah, if it was the six
Right,
on
and-
the six.
This cloud of shrapnel explodes. You can see bits of the Peacemaker flying off. You can see through it. Fish or Drut, would you both like to shoot at it, please?
After you, Fish.
I was going to ask you both to roll for it because that way you're both
Yeah,
shooting at the
it's
same
pretty
time. No
much
one
shooting
can
at the
claim the
same
kill.
time,
It's a
aren't we,
shared
so-
kill. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
Robinson
it's
didn't
like
do
there's
enough to
gonna be
take it
enough
out.
of him smeared over the landscape.
That's just a regular hit.
Okay.
That is.
This is when there's a really belated fire in the hole over the radio after the explosion.
Oh, there's shouts across all the radios of "What the heck was that?"
That's an 8.
Okay, so that's a hit with the raise.
Yep.
So, Fish, your damage.
Is 5.
11.
Okay. Well, between the three of you, that is sufficient to delete that one.
Looking at my guns because they never exploded before.
So, are you firing another one of those, Robinson?
I mean, the tube hasn't imploded, right? So I can keep going.
Let's see.
We haven't had a fatal
The
misfire there.
tube has not imploded or cracked, no.
Well, the weapon hasn't killed me yet, so I can keep firing it.
Oh god.
Although, I feel like I'm much more likely to engage in friendly fire in this situation.
yeah,
So it's a little
especially
bit more
with the
packed.
D4 minus 2 part.
Right, so,
Yeah,
for clarification, this is the aircraft that is the one remaining enemy.
Yes, I am
Oops.
aware of that at least.
Just so we're all sure about that.
Yeah.
No, there's this suspiciously looking similar one over there. I'm just gonna aim for that one above it instead.
It would let me pick up the marker separately, so I had to move the plane, move the marker, and then pick up the marker again. Right. So, are you firing another one, Robinson? And if so, move your marker to where you're aiming it at.
The obvious thing would just put it right in front, wouldn't it?
I'm thinking like right behind where that might be a good spot. I was thinking right behind Midas.
I think no, because if I put it right behind, then if it does turn down, I don't know why it might do that, but it might, then it would go out of range. But at least here, it's got pretty much every movement possible covered, except the really sharp turns, which I can't
Yeah.
do because
Yeah,
there's
that's fair. That's fair.
friendlies up there.
Okay. So, slowest planes move first. Drat, you slowed to a 2, did you?
I did, yeah,
So
So-
did I. So yeah, Strat and I.
which is fine by me.
I mean, if we can't, get lined up in a space to shoot it, at least it might explode again.
That seems he's already moved, hasn't he? The bad guy.
No, the bad guy has not moved. He
Oh,
is
I
speed
thought.
3.
Sorry, you were moving them before me.
No, the bad guy
We're
is speed
slower now.
Oh, we're
3.
slower.
You're all slower.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bad guy's
God.
the fastest plane in the air right now,
hang on a
despite
minute.
Nelly being here.
Hang on a minute. 2 or. Can I do a 2 or 3? I can't, can I?
I kind of don't want this explosion to work because the Brit.
That
Yeah.
Brit is in trouble now, yeah.
Oh no.
2 or 2 is as good as I can do it.
Damn it, they were potential
Damn.
employees too.
Okay, I am. Sorry, I
Maybe you'll
misread
be
the
lucky,
situation.
and that pilot will double as one of their engineers, so they'll have a
sudden
vacancy.
Unexpected workplace accident.
No. I am sorry. I'm changing my move because I
That's fine.
completely
Absolutely fine.
misunderestimated where I was going. So I'm actually doing a 2L2. I think. To give Mithra a shot at his arse,
Awesome. I like this.
which should
Okay.
cover. And of course, if Mithra misses, he's going to
Yeah.
hit my
No,
dust.
it covers. There's nowhere that they can move that's going to get out of my range.
Midas is using a chip.
Good use of chip.
Right, okay, got the roll on the second one.
Yay. Sorry, I need a piloting roll for mine, don't I?
Yes, please.
That's an 8. 8.
8.
I take it that's
That's
enough.
fine.
Cool.
Right.
Like
Chuck,
it
as you're
sounds
flying in the general vicinity of this guy, you see the air brakes pop on and the flaps maneuver.
cool. No bollocks.
And as you look to right, you can see the guns start to flare up.
Jesus, that was a hell of a maneuver.
Yeah. What you don't know is this guy's flying a Harrier.
No,
Stop.
he was only
3-point
flying at
turn.
flying. He was only flying at speed 3, so did that almost an Immelman.
Mhm.
And as the fastest plane on the field, Dale flies out of range.
Yay!
The
Hopefully
awful
land
thing
safely.
is, that really tight turn that he has just made was actually a lower G maneuver than the one I pulled.
Oh.
So, shooting. Robinson. Let's see where your
Oh,
missile
man.
lands.
I feel like I would just accept
What?
him.
You're not streaming today.
Can't see it.
Okay,
Don't
that's not a
bother.
success. That's a 3. You're almost there, but not quite. You've got all those wonderful chips you can throw in.
Yeah, I'm just kind of terrified of blowing up the poor Brit.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, 11. It's on target. With a
They're on
raise.
target.
So D8 plus D6 damage. Every plane in that arc is taking that damage.
Honestly, at least you're not
Back to
accidentally
high school,
hitting one of us. Oh shit.
Oh.
6s explode.
So does that mean I need to roll another?
Another
D6?
6, please.
Another
Yeah,
D6,
another
yeah.
D6. That's 10 damage.
Oh, no.
13 in total. Right.
Yeah, you're gonna need to send probably a really big box of chocolates to the Brits. Maybe some flowers and a big tube of super glue.
Can I?
I'm thinking that Merlin is just going to walk away with his thumbs twiddling and not even mention that he was
Wow.
involved.
Is this one of their vertical takeoff planes?
Not
Oh.
Yes.
You know, maybe there might be a bit that's not fully exploded.
What, you mean the bits that are slowly falling down towards the river?
Yeah, you know.
It's now a
luckily
vertical
we haven't
landing
played
phase.
a diver.
It's definitely coming down, and it's
So-
definitely doing it vertically.
Fish, you saw the gunfire, you saw the explosion, and you've seen this plane just disintegrate.
Wow, that was a bit of luck.
Maybe we should get out of the sky now because we might be next. Oh wait, those planes came from a ship.
Now,
Should
all
take care of that
shooting
shit.
does happen at the same time, so it had still fired, but it missed you.
Yeah.
So, Shard, do you want to roll your damage to see how much extra damage you did to that peacemaker that fell out the sky?
Heck yeah!
Go for it.
Sweet.
Badaka. Badaka, badaka.
I'm just rolling the damage, not worrying about hitting.
I mean, this is one that you'd already damaged.
Yeah. Whee! 4.
Tickled it.
I tickled it a little bit.
Vertical takedown and landing.
As the last of
Um,
their planes falls out the sky.
Madonna, before you go after the ship that they came from, can you
Yes?
follow Dale and let me off? I need to check on him.
Would you like me to slow down enough for you to jump out?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, what did they launch from? Was it?
There was a
ship or an
submarine
airship?
off seas.
Oh.
Off coast, rather.
That was it.
Curious. The parachutes that we have, how typically safe are the parachutes in this era?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Parachute technology really
Yeah,
didn't change
actually.
a great deal, other than the invention of things like the power wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you slow down enough, I'll hop out and make my way to Dale so that you can go and finish up the submarine.
Remember, jump backwards, don't jump forwards.
Right. I get unstrapped and head to what would it be, a door on the side or a hatch in the back? Should be
The
on
hatch
the
on the
back.
side.
Yeah.
And you're going to leap out and 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, check, shoot! Now, as you're manoeuvring to do that, this Welsh voice comes across the radio again. Well, that was rather unsporting, shooting all of those British planes down. I'm sure His Majesty would be most displeased with your act of war. Oh, and if you're thinking of coming to destroy this submarine, it's not mine. It's the King's. I borrowed it. I wouldn't go destroying it. He might be a little annoyed.
Surely that would only apply
I'd
if
just
we
like
were
to-
a national force.
I'm a little confused. Explain to me again what this nonsense about acts of war.
Oh, this is a British Navy vessel, and
Yeah,
those
no,
were
Yeah.
British aircraft, and
Yeah. So the act of war that they engaged in by attacking America, that doesn't count at all, doesn't it?
oh no, they were my pilots, not British pilots. The crew here are tied up down below.
Now you see, now you're just confusing the issue, because you said that it was an act of war to attack them, so they were either British planes and pilots or they weren't British planes and pilots. And if they weren't, then the only act of war that has been carried out here is by you, since you have clearly hijacked some British facilities. And to be honest, as a citizen of the United Kingdom, I feel it is my duty to try and return that. Because, my family honor's at stake here.
Absolutely.
Well, if you want to sink this British submarine and its entire crew,
Who said anything about sinking it?
I'm flicking frequencies, and I am calling into the turret control tower.
Yep.
With the bearing taken from my radio.
Yep.
I'm already on my way out there. By
yeah.
the way.
Oh yeah,
Headed-
I'm following you. Nellie's going to get there first, but I am following Fish.
Have a bunch of British.
Reporting that apparently a terrorist has taken control of a British submarine, fielded a team of pirates who we have disposed of, but has captured British seamen. So perhaps any representatives of the Crown who are listening might want to go and have a word. And here's the bearing. Because there are at least 2 British airships.
As you finish your call to arms, you see the remaining 3 aircraft just drop from the bottom of their airship.
Well, it seemed rude not to invite friends.
Yeah. Yes. Oh man, I hope the Brit that got exploded is surviving somehow.
You did see a parachute.
Oh, thank God. I'm just more concerned about Dale than the Brits.
I will still, actually, before I head off after Midas, I will drop you off at parachute height.
Yep.
Have
Let's
fun.
have an athletics roll to land from the parachute. Is it athletics? I forget. I'm sure it's athletics.
It's roll skills you don't have, Day.
It is athletics. Ah, Mithra does have athletics.
Oh, no fair.
Not particularly well, but does have athletics.
No shit. You
Myth-
I
Mithra's
mean,
using
you
a chip.
remember the last athletics roll I rolled, like, did a whole bunch of exploding on the 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you and the D4, isn't it? Your athletics only works on 4s.
So that's a 6.
So
Oh.
successful landing, and you head off over to Dale's landed aircraft.
Yep.
Right, flying out towards this submarine. You can see someone stood on the top of the, what would you call it? The conning tower,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conning tower.
with a pair of binoculars looking out in your ever closing direction. Voice comes back over the radio. I thought I said not to try and take me down.
Yeah, I thought I said bite me. Did I forget to?
I love Midas so much. So very, very much.
Midas. It is Midas, isn't it?
Yeah, asshole. It is asshole, isn't it?
Everything you touch turns to scrap.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Although, actually, that's everything Madonna touches turns to scrap. Look at the amount of planes she took out of the sky. I like the name. It begins with M.
If you've done the bad deck,
Well,
you've got a 6-pack.
Congratulations. At least you know your alphabet. That's
My
impressive.
name's Madrout. We'll meet again.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, well, that kind of depends, doesn't it?
All systems. Emergency dive.
Damn. I'm not getting there quick enough.
Flood queue, dive.
Is he going to dive while still standing on the conning tower? Because I would advise against
please.
I'm guessing he's going inside at this point.
Leave the door open. Go on, there you.
And I'm also guessing that.
Fish, can you do
I'm
me a
not
notice
close
roll,
enough to
please?
Take a shot yet. A notice roll.
Yes.
It's probably some poor bugger from the crew.
4, which is a basic success.
Can we identify
As the water
obviously
starts
top
rising
secret
up towards the
submarine?
deck, the person on top clearly panics.
Yeah, the guy on the radio is not who's standing
No.
on top. That was pretty obvious because he was holding binoculars, not a radio, not a microphone.
The submarine is
microscope.
diving.
Okay.
With the crew members still on top.
I'm gonna have to try a really long distance shot here, aren't I? And it's going to have to be really accurate, which means that with my D6 gunnery, it is never going to work. I'm not aiming for the crewman on top. I'm
Okay.
aiming for the hatch.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you have a chip left?
I have one. I have one
I
single
think you should do
solitary
a chip for that conversation.
Yes,
Absolutely, yes.
absolutely. You can have one of
Okay,
mine if
I've
you
got
want.
2 single solitary chips left. Right. First attempt is a 5, which is not great. At this range, that's not going to be good. But against a specific target, that's not going to be good enough, so we'll try that again.
Oh,
That's worse, so last chip.
come on.
It's not
Come
going to
on.
come off, but
Come
on.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah. Holy
Oh
cow!
my god.
then again, 21.
Excellent!
Oh,
Wow.
fantastic.
I like because this could have all
In the
gone,
distance,
like,
you
as a
see this.
perfect
You see
win.
something near this guy, just ching, and there's a piece of metal flying off.
Well, I think I should have stopped them from submerging anyway.
They won't notice until they're already submerged.
I'm guessing that there is a guy inside yelling at the guy on the top to get inside, who is going to notice that.
You know how difficult it is to reverse after getting a submarine to start going down.
I don't, as it happens. I've never done it.
Very difficult.
Very difficult.
That's a lot of weight, and when you're getting rid of the ballast to allow it to sink and lose buoyancy, it's
And you've got all
And
the
it was an
dive planes
emergency
set to
dive,
the right
wasn't it?
angle. You've got to
Yeah.
reverse all of that. And yeah,
and
it's
then
not.
as the water starts filling in the hole, it gets heavier.
And where he called
Depends
for
on
an
how
emergency
far
dive,
into the
it's basically get rid of all ballast now.
Mm.
So there's this sort of
Yep.
amount of bubbles coming up from around it as they've just unloaded, opened all the valves. And this thing's just.
Yeah.
What you have done is allow the crewman that was stranded on top to get inside.
Yeah.
So you've saved the life of a crewman.
Yes, me.
Oh yeah, because he wouldn't have floated, would he? He would have been sucked under.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, he would have been dragged down. Although that doesn't necessarily follow that he couldn't have survived it. Charles Lightoller, the senior surviving officer of the Titanic, went under twice during the sinking of the Titanic, and at one point, I can't remember whether it was him or somebody else. At one point, was actually pinned to a grating by water rushing into the ship,
Wow.
and was then blown clear by the water. Then it hit the furnaces, and that blew him clear.
Oh
Jesus.
my god.
Wow.
That is luck right there. Bloody hell.
There was
Yeah.
I know another story about the Titanic. There was a woman who was in the Titanic one, then went on to work on the Titanic's sister ship, which got in an accident while she was working on.
Oh
Then
god,
went
yes.
to work on the final ship of the Titanic line, and that was in an accident while she was working on.
The unsinkable Molly Brown, I think was Molly
Yeah.
Brown. I think was her name. Earned the name
Yeah.
Unsinkable because of
Yeah.
exactly that. She survived all
Also,
three.
doesn't that mean that she was the cursing part of that whole thing since she was on all three?
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
No, it could be
on
argued that
the
Lightoller
superstition.
was, because it seemed like every ship he got on seemed to sink as well. Although in at least one case, he sank it himself.
As the submarine slips under the waves, the radio sparks to life again. Midas, was that you? You got my feet wet. God damn it!
Did him.
Hey, I do what I can.
I will come
Yeah,
back
but
for you.
just-
You need to get
You've
your feet
denied
wet
me
at
my
some point.
prize.
Everyone starts there.
You've denied me my vengeance. I will come back for you.
What prize? What vengeance? I don't even know who the hell you are or what you're doing here, except that you're an asshole and you're getting in the way.
With that, one of the Brits comes over the radio. Oh, Midas, I think, given who he said he was, I'm sorry. He used to be one of us. I say used to be. we didn't like some of the things he wanted to do, and we got rid of him.
Well,
Not well enough, it seems. I do apologise.
based on his behaviour here, I can understand your point.
And I
Couldn't
think
you got rid of him a little bit harder?
Oh.
we tried. It didn't stick.
It didn't
well.
stick.
We'll have to work on that.
Yes.
I gotta get Merlin to put some bombs on this thing.
Torpedoes.
Yeah, torpedoes would be good.
And it slips under the waves.
Rah, rah. Well, so series villains just turned up.
Series villain, definitely a series villain. Yes.
Stop that pigeon. Stop that
This isn't going to
pigeon.
tie in with the same group of people that stole my tech, is it?
I couldn't possibly comment.
Yes, you might think that.
Yeah.
So, with everything dying down, now is when the squadron of militia devastators turns up.
Of course.
Gee.
Better late than never.
Late on parade.
Yeah.
And
Well-
as every plane lands back at the airstrip, there's reporters there taking pictures of every plane that comes in, trying to get close-ups of all the battle damage and trying to get interviews with all of the pilots. Will Chuck be granting an interview?
Yeah, probably.
Will this glory hound?
This arrogant
I'm
hotshot. Yeah.
I'm assuming that there were already cameras taking pictures of the doctor
Oh yes.
parachuting out of a fully functional airplane to go and run and help another pilot.
Oh yeah. As you were coming down in the parachute, there were camera flashes going off. And likewise, Drut, as Madonna lands, again, there's cameras taking pictures. Is Madonna going to be granting any interviews?
No, because Madonna is hunted by criminal organisations, and no. It's amazing. All the shots of her are going to get, like, you know, her ear with the goggles down.
Just how good are these
Honestly-
photographers?
Honestly, Mithra
Oh.
isn't even paying attention to the reporters if there are any, just completely ignoring them because tending to Dale and waiting for the ambulance.
Yeah, so Dale is definitely looking quite pale. There is a very unpleasant-looking discoloured patch of blood in their side. And you can see a couple of holes in the cockpit. And it looks like they need help to get out of the plane.
Couple of holes in the cockpit, couple of holes in Dale.
Yeah, I'll just go with the 9 to stabilize, stop blood flow, and put pressure on it, and get the actual ambulance out there so that I can help patch them up with the right tools.
Can we
Right,
go
so-
with stop blood loss rather than stop blood flow?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. If you stop the blood flow completely, that could be an issue.
So on the plus side, it doesn't look like a bullet wound.
Oh, okay.
The downside would be the broken rib that's poking out.
Because of the maneuvering.
Dale did
Well,
a
I
lot
wanna
of high
apply pressure.
maneuvers,
Man,
and something
Dale.
gave way.
Dale, you're gonna need to take a break after this.
There's no racing for a few weeks. I've got a few weeks before I need to get back in the air again.
That's not how bones work, Dale.
What are you going to do? Put it in a cast?
No, I'm gonna shove it back in, close the hole, and then you need to, well, you're already using stuff, so it should be okay. Because
Besides,
with ribs, you need to bind the whole chest to keep it from moving too much. And
Yeah. That's about all you can do.
Yeah. But yes, the ambulance arrives, and Dale is willing to be assisted out to the cockpit to climb into the ambulance to head off to the hospital.
Yep, I go with him.
So, Chuck, what sort of tales are you telling the the
Well-
gathered press.
He's going to get very irate, probably, with the journalists. Almost certainly.
Yeah.
Call yourselves newspaper people journalists? I mean, you keep asking me all these damn questions, and not one of you has asked about the race. It's the only news here today. I won,
Have
okay?
a chip for that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we now know where those interviews are going to go.
What you need, Fish, is to use our little pet reporter who's buggered off and at some point may come back. And you can use her as your mouthpiece. Syndicate the interview.
Not touching that one.
I said what I said.
Okay, so today did not exactly go according to plan. Obviously, there were some issues. There was a bit of cheating, a little bit of attempted murder, and a mass military assault using stolen hardware. But that notwithstanding, I think the race was a big success, and I really look forward to them holding another one. I hope this will be an annual event.
Lots of camera flashes, lots of writing down in notepads. Air Ace hopes to return for future races,
You just want the inaugural Midas Cup.
which of course has to be gold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously. What else would it be?
Well, you never know. We might be able to provide some plating for that. That's a point, actually. Yes. If everybody's now landed and we're all sorting ourselves out, Mash is going to quietly have a word with Midas that there's something you need to show him back on board.
The
that day.
advantage during this interview is, of course, that Midas genuinely has no idea
What else is
what
going
the
on?
attack was about.
No. Yep.
They can try and steer him off the races as much as they want. He hasn't got a clue.
And yes, probably the timing of that was perfect because that clearly a lot of questions. So what did he mean by vengeance? What did he mean by prize? What was he after?
I got no idea. I never even knew who the guy was. Apparently, they're pointing at the British agent. Apparently, those guys know him. You should ask them about him. I don't know anything about that. But if you want to know about the race,
You know, I guess it was a good thing that Midas was too busy focused on the race to care about going and fight what he didn't even know what we were doing. He completely
he
forgot
had
that there
no
was
interest in what you guys were doing at all. He vaguely remembered there was something about a boat, but
So once the crowds have cleared and you're able to get Midas away from reporters and other pilots and mechanics, what next? You did say
What
something about a
next?
quiet word.
Yes, I'm going to.
make it quick. I got a win to celebrate.
Actually, you're planning on drinking for this win, yes?
I was planning on it.
In that case, we will speak after you've drunk. I'm not
Okay, but
telling him about the gold and then letting him go out and get pissed.
After I've drunk, I don't think I'm going to be in any condition to listen. Not until early tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow, then.
Tomorrow afternoon will be when the prize giving ceremony is.
Yep, yeah. After the ceremonies have all happened, after he's had his prize, I'm not going to distract him from his kudos. And then
The
when we're
important
back
thing.
on the bad dirt, then we can show him what we salvaged.
So, Chuck, would I imagine an amount of copious amount of drinking and socialising and possibly
Absolutely.
raconteuring?
Yes, very much celebrating to the max.
So, do we have a performance roll then, please?
I think we can manage that. Not fantastic. Obviously, he's a little distracted, or maybe he's just drunk too much. But it's a basic success, though.
A basic success is enough to have a small coterie of people listening to your tales and hang on every word.
He retells each of the races.
With arm gestures.
Of course.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
Probably spilling an awful lot of drinks as he forgets he's holding a whiskey when he does it.
And when that happens, miraculously, you're handed another.
One appears. Lovely. I like this whole being a winner thing.
Nice.
And so, come the following morning, when Chuck is undoubtedly doing the walk of shame,
No such thing.
He has no shame.
Stride of pride, I heard it called the other day, and I
Yeah,
thought,
that-
I like that.
Yes, that's
that
Beverly
works.
Moore, what
That
Chuck
works.
would do.
We'll go with that. Yes, happy with that. The ride of pride.
Stride of pride,
Stride of
please.
pride,
Not
sorry.
that. Given what the walk of shame generally
Pilot's
is appended
pilot's
to.
ride. The stride of pride.
Yep.
The
That
ride
works.
of pride comes before the stride of pride.
I was going to let that go. Right. Yeah. Yes. After all the prizes are done and we're dusted and we're back on the bad debt, then
So
I will
yes,
introduce-
prize giving. It will be no surprise to anyone to hear that the Morrigan was disqualified from all proceedings,
good.
and they were removed from all, not just the races that they
I love you.
qualified in, but every race they entered in, leaving the final 3 to receive prizes. Chuck gets first prize.
Obviously.
Dale nailed second place.
Yay.
And through a combination of disqualifications and luck,
Death.
third place went to Abelard, despite not
Yeah, I had a feeling
competing
it
in the
was
last
gonna
couple
be-
of races. He had scored well enough in the first few to secure third place. And
think
his,
Larson just
his
didn't
winnings will
live
be sent
in
up
the
to him. As prize winner Chuck, you are handed your $35,000.
Yay. Yo, more than welcome to that.
Yeah, I won it. It's mine.
Yeah.
I can now see the conversation. That was yours. This is ours.
Hell yeah.
You didn't participate
Whatever.
in the.
And you're given
I
the
just
trophy.
got one thing. Just got one thing to say. Waving a packet of notes in their direction. You try taking that into a bar.
So yes, you're given your prize winnings. You're given the trophy. And once again, there's a realm of photographers taking your picture and taking down notes of stories and those wonderful catchphrases that you keep throwing out. But eventually, that all dies down, and you get back aboard the bad debt.
Yep. Right, so yeah, I will lead my disc because it's the sort of thing you really want to show rather than just tell, and demonstrate to him why we're going to be in the market for a new airship.
Mm-hmm. Of our very own.
We did not find what clients were looking for, which was deeds to possibly France owning chunk of United States. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be awkward.
yeah.
Probably
We
a
did
good
not
job.
find that, and that was all the client was interested in. So it seems like any other salvage, we simply retain, including and opens cupboard. So I pull back tarpaulin over the bricks on the pallet, including these.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, you come from wealth, don't you?
Not that much wealth, but
I
But
believe
yes.
I believe Merlin has some new airship designs in mind.
okay. So
And a few more.
where do
a
we
few
go
new-
from here?
I don't know yet. we haven't decided. But it does mean that we are no longer beholden to the
I
company.
do think you're going to want to think this through pretty quickly because I'm okay. I got 35 grand to live on in between, telling the bad debt owners to get stuffed and whatever you're going to whatever you're going to do with that. But you guys might want to consider who's paying your wages in between those two things. Otherwise, you're going to be using a whole bunch of that, just on basic accommodation.
Look, were you a killjoy in all your previous incarnations, or is it just this one? This is actually a perfect fade to credits, with Masha methodically slamming Midas's head against the stack of gold bars. Just clunk, stop, clunk, ruining, clunk, a beautiful clunk, idea, clunk.
There's always bounty hunting in between and while waiting.
I mean, there's nothing to say that you couldn't order the airship and still work on the bad debt until your airship comes in, and then just...
Yeah, that's what I was
This is what I'm
thinking.
thinking, yes. We don't have to tell them we
It's
put a
not
new
going to be
airship
built
on
In
them.
overnight.
between collisions with the stack of gold, Midas is trying to say. Plus, I bet you they're going to charge you for shipping this stuff wherever you want to take it.
You're just a glass half empty kind of guy, aren't you? Oh, God. Gold always spends, apparently.
Whether
Especially...
you want it to or not.
Well, yeah. Okay, unless anything
So, in
else
that,
dramatic.
no, in that case, folks, wrapping a little earlier than usual, but I wasn't quite sure how long the battle was going to take. What with it being a completely new set of rules and
Yeah.
taking people that had
Honestly,
never
I mean,
done...
If it had been down to me to shoot things down, it would have taken a hell of a lot longer, obviously.
Fair enough.
Wrapping early is fine. It's a lot easier to wrap early because it uses less stamina than to wrap late, especially
Yes.
with how late it is for you.
Yeah, fortunately, it's only 9:30ish here, so it's not too bad. But
Yeah.
yeah, on those times when we run to 11, I have to pay very close attention to the clock.
Of course, my brain is telling me it's actually 8:30. It doesn't know where it is right now because,
Yeah, there
of
is
course,
that
the
too,
clock's
yes.
changed overnight.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
that does make it a little weirder, Molly, you're quite right.
Yes. I always get jet lag in this direction. I'm fine enough in autumn, but in spring, jet lag every time.
See, I never have that problem because I don't have alarms. So I just wake up whenever I decide to wake up when the sun happens.
Jesus.
At least on the
woke up
weekends.
At the same time that I would have woke up if my alarm hadn't gone off an hour early. It was really weird. I just sort of complete clarity arrived to me at 3:30, and I was like, oh wait, if this was yesterday, it'd be 2:30 when I'm supposed to be out of bed because my internet gets stuck.
Bless his little cotton socks.
I have no words for that.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there, isn't there?
There really is. So, folks,
So,
Okay.
so fun fact,
Oh.
I have to be in the shower by 2:30 or my parents disconnect my internet because they're fed up of me waking up. Like,
That seems very reasonable.
it does seem very reasonable, yes.
It does, yeah.
I think they're very generous
Personally,
at
I think I'd
putting it
work
at
on the
2:30.
principle that if you weren't in the shower by 2:30, your PC would be.
Ouch. No, that's just cool and unusual.
Yes, it's probably a good job I never had kids.
Just a bit. Be the martinet. So next week
Yes.
we are on Labyrinths and Lycanthropes.
Yes, I enjoyed watching that last week. I'm looking forward to that. Not last week, last time.
Yeah. Labyrinths and Lycanthropes with an Easter themed, appropriately enough, trip to the confectionery world.
I expect you to be fighting lots of giant chocolate bunnies.
We
if there's not a
We
banana
had fun.
boat, I'm gonna be upset.
as soon as the whole candy-esque angle came up, we just went all in.
And frankly, the first scenario, the first dungeon is being run at Easter is perfect
Yeah, it
for the
really
way that
is.
works out.
It does. It does and it is.
Karma does wonderful things on occasion.
It
Yes.
does.
That whole section of Shark Boy and Lava Girl that was candy themed, wasn't it? It was the land of milk and cookies.
Yes, yes. That was a
I
very
have to see
strange
that
film,
film.
though.
I've got to see that film because I want to watch the sequel.
There's a sequel.
There's a Netflix
yeah.
series spin-off type.
Oh
thing
yes,
there.
yeah.
Oh,
But it's the
okay.
same actors who are in Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but they're the mum and dad.
Okay.
Because Shark Boy and Lava Girl is now that
I
old.
watched like an episode, I think, because my younger brother was watching it, and they were talking about aliens and stuff, and I was like, okay, this is a bit out of left field from what I was expecting.
Hmm. So,
So, yes.
Yep.
Excuse me, sorry. That is indeed it for today. I do hope you enjoyed it. As Drat said, next week we've got Labyrinths and Lycanthropes with an Easter theme. Looking forward to that.
exploding eggs.
Now, on top of that, some of the players here are also streamers in their own right. So, on Tuesday and Thursday, I will be playing drums to viewer requests, as I do normally, and then Friday, I'll be back in Forza, terrassing around the Scottish countryside. Robinson, do you have any streams coming up?
So I can't remember if it's Tuesday or Wednesday, but Evil Genius 2 releases, so I will be streaming that. And I've already chosen what Evil Genius I will be playing, because there was one of them that was the Science Maniac, and I was like, okay, fine, go with that. So I will be trying to conquer the world in true Robinson fashion.
It does sound like a game that's very much up your alley. I'll look forward to that. Shard, what about you, my friend?
Well, lately, Mr. T has been streaming on weekends. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming after the session tonight, but I usually do. I will be probably streaming Hollow Knight on Tuesday, and maybe Wednesday I will try to do some more Oddworld, depending.
Excellent. Fish, any streaming from... Probably...
Still not in
Yeah.
a position to actually stream, but as soon as I get a new place and I'm settled into it, I want to start streaming again, mainly streaming some tabletop RPG related content, if not actually tabletop RPG. I want to get back to mapping with campaign content and stuff like that.
Cool.
Cool. So if you're not following Fish, do drop him a follow just for when he does start streaming again.
That will be coming at some point in the future when I can get around to it, when I'm not sleeping on that sofa.
Yeah. And
Over to you, Drat.
yep, tomorrow I am back on Vampire on Monstrous Monday, and then on Thursday I will be starting Arkham Horror Mother's Embrace, which is a point-and-click murder mystery based on the Arkham Horror board game. Came out a couple of days ago, so I am very much looking forward to that. Straight up my alley. And on the 21st of April, which is a Wednesday, I believe, Hemp Plays is going to be hosting a MacGuffin and Co. stream. Well, I'm not going to be hosting, we're going to be running it, where Johnny Sims and Sasha Sienna are going to be running one of their games for us.
I think the phrasing you wanted there was that Hint Plays will be hosting MacGuffin and Co.
Yeah.
on the stream.
Yeah, shut up. I've had too much coffee, not enough water. My brain has just gone into weird speed. So yes, we'll be playing host to them, and I have literally no idea how that's going to work out, but they've got a Kickstarter coming up for their micro settings, putting those into hardback book format, and they are really good people and yeah, deserve to be supported. So
I
looking
will
forward to
definitely
that.
need to get myself some headphones so that I have a headset.
Excellent. And if you like what we do here, then you can get involved by following us on Twitch here. Make sure the little bell sign is clicked so that you get the alerts when we go live, when Twitch finally sends them out. You can also support us by tipping. !tip will give you the link. Tips are by no means required or requested, but always gratefully received. Thank you very much. And we have a Discord where you can join us in chat and possibly get involved in the games themselves. I think Drat's already typing the Discord link there.
I
Thank
am.
you, Drat.
Right there.
Cool. So, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Thank you for playing. And have yourselves a very good evening and a good week. See you next week. Bye-bye.
No.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.